Oh, you're a dude.
All right, well, let's call the meeting to order at 5:32. So since our last meeting, not too much has changed except for the fact that we have to change our benefactor due to the notice that I received in an email. Did you copy everybody or?
Yeah.
All right.
I believe I did.
So we are kind of back to square one again on our benefactor, which kind of was a hinder on marketing and which could potentially, I guess, push us back behind again. So
I have a recommendation.
what is your recommendation, Mr. Perez?
I'll tell you, Judy. The mental health task force in Miami Lakes. They're pretty much a new committee, but they're made up. I've sat in one of their meetings and listened to them, and they're made up of mainly professionals in the field of mental health. Several of them have a 501c3, but one of them seems to have, as one of her 501c3, for lack of a better term, a professional mental health chamber of commerce, so to speak, where all the mental health professionals gather. And the way she described it to me, it was because some people have certain expertise and others don't, but they may have a client. So it helps match the client with the person with the expertise. And so my thought was, we have this block of money. Mental health issues in veterans is a huge problem. The biggest issues we have right now, at least what I've seen, is TRICARE is not taken by every mental health provider, which is kind of sad. And the VA waiting list is very long. Most of the time you just get a Zoom counseling. And those are not always the best. You know, it's hard to assess somebody on Zoom. So my thought was, we could ask the mental health task force that if we to come up with a plan so they could provide like free therapy sessions to veterans in Miami Lakes. So basically they can just, here's a block of money to compensate those therapists, you know, and they will provide X number of sessions and et cetera. You know, they don't have to worry about insurance or anything like that, and veterans just can go in and talk or whatever and get treated. I think it will, one, support the mental health of veterans, and two, support also the Miami Lakes Mental Health Task Force and create some more cooperation and synergy between the committee. It was always good. So that's my idea.
I like that idea. What do you think?
I think that it's a good idea, but I don't think it really, I don't really think it directs our cause directly. And we're third party it through another institute, and them to distribute the benefit to the veterans. Where I think we should be more directly to the veterans in whichever way, without a third party. And that's just my thought.
All right. Do you have a recommended idea of a charity then?
No, I don't. I mean, there's a lot of charities out there, and they need to be vetted before we donate any money.
Well, that's why I think, what's good about the mental health task force is they'll vet it for us. They'll do a lot of the lifting for us. And if we tell them the parameters, they'll take care of that. I mean, half the problem we have in finding a donate to is no one lifts the finger to really vet and do the effort. But if you tell them, hey, here's some money attached, and that's what they do, that's literally what the organization does, is connect the right provider to the right type of client. Then they do the vetting for us. And it benefits directly the Miami Lakes veteran, or whoever is the veteran, who was part of Post Legion 144. And not only that, we can use the town's resources, because now it's, the mental health task force is working it, and they could advertise it, promote it, and stuff like that, and get the word out. I mean, if you have another option on the table, that'll be nice to hear. And if you have a plan on how to execute that action, that'll be nice to hear.
I like your idea. I'm not trying to be, hard about it, but I just don't. I feel that you're bringing in another company, a third-party company, that's going to benefit veterans. But at this point, they're not doing that. So we're basically donating money to that
What do you think
organization.
we're doing when we do with a
With
veteran?
anything.
Yeah,
But we don't.
we're gonna be donating monies to combat veterans, outdoors.
Veteran organizations specifically, specifically target veterans, the veteran organizations. Like example, the company that did the deal with the fishing.
Yeah, but I mean, but we're just giving the money to an organization. So we're giving money to this organization and we're not just saying, hey, use it for any job, Tom, Dick or Harry. They gotta be veterans. You gotta
I'd
be.
rather see it donate directly to Tom, Dick, or Harry. They're veterans. I understand. I appreciate what you're saying.
How do you do that?
That's the whole issue. You know, how do you
I mean, if you're gonna give me a suggestion, you better give me a plan.
I like your first suggestion very, very much. I thought that was awesome.
Well, I mean,
Like
there's a
we
conflict,
shot-
there's a
we shot
conflict of
down-
interest issue. So there's,
Shot down for-
that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
I understand. I like that. This one, in theory, it sounds great, but I see. Depending on another organization to structure this thing to draw veterans in, and we're gonna donate money to them ahead of time when they're not presently doing it. I'd rather find someone that's presently doing something for veterans.
Well, the first question is we don't know whether or not they're doing stuff.
Let's find out.
So that's the first thing we need to do is we need to ask them whether or
So you're
not.
saying that, that's one of the concerns that I had too, is
Yeah.
like, okay, so we're gonna give them $17,000 and we're just gonna put it in their bank until they see enough veterans to use it up and it could just sit there, maybe 4 veterans go and it just kind of goes
Yeah.
poof. So I see
Exactly
what you're
right.
saying, and then I'm sort of thinking about like, oh, we could make purchase orders and then that turns it into undoing what you said, something simple, so somebody that really needs mental health can go straight to get mental health, because that's a block for somebody that has anxiety or PTSD or in a really bad mental place. Doing more paperwork and more things and more barriers to get to it just makes it like an impossible, like going up an escalator or down escalator.
I mean, even if they use, let's say, they get $17,000 and they use 5,000 of it to do outreach, because it costs money. And they get so many people to do this therapy session. What I would recommend is we can have them develop a plan
And let them
know.
pitch us.
and they can pitch us.
What about something a little more easier, like example, tunnels to towers, something like that, where they're already established and I
Yeah, I
understand.
mean, I understand that. I mean, but how does that directly impact Miami Lakes residents who are veterans?
It doesn't directly impact Miami.
And it's like it's like throwing a droplet of water into an ocean,
I agree.
I mean, so I'm trying to, if I can keep it local and if I can,
I think local is a great idea.
here's the pluses I see. If they can come up with a plan and can sell us.
Yeah.
Is one, it's gonna provide therapy sessions for those who live beside of Miami Lakes or part of the American Legion that maybe live in PSN or Hialeah and stuff like that, but part of the Miami Lakes American Legion. Two, it's going to benefit local providers, so it will generate, like if you do tunnels and towers, somebody in Texas is getting a house,
I agree. I just.
You know, and it'll benefit, providers that work in the town or work with the town or work in Miami, in other words, it'll help generate income for our economy, which is always good. And it may be the first time somebody, if they do a good outreach program, it may be the first time someone goes out there and sees somebody and they've been needing to see somebody. And the thing is, I could see us in the American Legion Post going, anybody here can go to these following folks for free for a mental health session. Some guys will probably take it up.
I agree. There's a lot of them over there at that.
A lot of folks-
probably need it, but they're not service connected. There's a lot of nut jobs over there.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's not service connected, they're veterans, and so, I mean, I tell you, several I bet would go. Especially when they go, it's free, I don't even need insurance, I don't need to do copay, I don't need to do a darn thing. They'll be like, yeah, I'll go there.
A few years ago, when Naeem was running this thing, his whole deal was PTSD. That was everything that he did was directed towards benefit of.
I believe he had a relative that committed suicide.
Yes.
Exactly, and that was his directive.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to do what you're trying to say that you want to do. I sat through the meetings, and we saw the whole thing.
So he sent it to the fishing, right? You guys gave the money to fishing people.
No, that was another year. That was last year. Before that, we did something different.
So what do you do?
I'm trying to think what he did.
Well, the thing, I'll tell you probably why he wasn't able to do it. because Miami Lakes at the time did not have a mental health task force. And you know, the mental health task force is basically started right before COVID, was shut down because of COVID and started right up. And they finally got most of their stuff together, you know, and they're working on the website and all that stuff. And when I sat through their meeting and I got to meet everybody and they started telling me what they did and stuff before the meeting started, I was really darn impressed, and I'm not easily impressed. Most of the time, I'm not impressed at all. And so, and I thought, you know, because by then Jonathan already provided me the horrible news, you know, that it wasn't horrible news. It's a conflict of interest. So we, you know, we always got to abide by the laws, black and white. So, but you know, the conflict of interest was clear. So I started thinking about, okay, what else can we do? So when I heard what they did, and I heard how they connected folks, and even on the website they're creating in Miami Lakes, there's a portal for veterans that they're creating. So they're already collecting, because when I was sitting there, they're trying to populate this portal. So it's like a link inside the Miami Lakes website for the mental health task force, and they're populating the portal with resources. Each one, you know, like one is elderly, one is children, one is disabled, you know, mental health resources.
Right.
And so they already have one for veterans, and they're trying to populate that. And
Could they make a proposal to us?
that's what I'm thinking. You know, I mean, what I'll do is I'll contact the chair and the other people and say, listen, here's what we're thinking to do with the money we raise. But we need you to come and do a proposal to us, you know?
We need to have a special call. We can't wait
And
another.
then
Yeah.
it makes sense, you move on.
I don't think it is the timeliness,
Right?
the timeliness.
Well, I mean,
So
if,
for council to let them know, we just have to get a plan for the.
They
Task
could come to our meeting, make a proposal, and if it's acceptable, then we bring it to council. Why even bring it to them if it's not, if we don't agree with it?
We have to have a special call. It has to be quick. They have to hurry up and do it and give it to us and we'll have a
Oh,
special.
we're not, we don't have a time limit on when.
We
have to
are holding marketing back for all of this. It's just like now we're gonna be in September before.
no, what I mean, what we gotta do is we got to. I agree with Judy. What we have to do is, I gotta contact the mental health task force folks, say, you gotta come up with a plan with this for resources, and here's what we want to be able to do. And you come up with something. We could be up to 17,000, you know, whatever, that's, you know, how much of it do you need it for outreach? How much do you need it for, you know, actual therapy? So come up with a plan. And then
And
we have a
need to be
special-
audited and all that stuff and be open to audit and to show
Yeah.
us all, you know,
Yeah.
aside from HIPAA, but some way to tell us that.
yeah,
the
I mean,
funds
they
been used
they
accordingly.
can't, they gotta comply with HIPAA and, but they can probably just give us numbers, we can give us statistical data, so many people went, et cetera, you know, went to this provider, went to that provider, et cetera. They can't tell us the patient, but they can give us the, you know, the number, so went to a provider, how many went to this provider or that provider.
You need to like, you gonna get ahold of them and then they.
I mean, unless, I
special
mean,
Call like,
the easy thing is to dump it into some huge thing to, you know,
or
some
do it
tower.
with the outdoor guys and do it both.
Yeah, do
Do this
fishing.
one and that one. Oh, the one we're doing for Texas, for the
So,
Texas thing.
Oh, that's for last year's one.
Let's do it again. Let's do the shoe too. If we can,
Well, I
get a
mean-
better idea. I mean, it's an approved vendor and it does what we wanted to do. We have to find new veterans to go.
It's gonna be, actually, it's gonna be harder than you think to find veterans to go because they have to be combat veterans.
You know, that I disagree with you so much on that thing, because I know people, okay, that have been wounded in combat, you know, lost arms, legs. I mean, I've known people over the years that they weren't infantry, they were support people.
Yeah.
They were.
But they'll have the combat act, they'll have a combat
No, they
action
don't,
badge.
they do not, During
Do
the.
they have a Purple Heart?
Yeah, I have Purple
Well,
Heart.
then that's fine.
well, I'm assuming that that's a them qualification.
That's a
Yeah,
them
So
call.
even if, you know,
that's to them, it's not us.
I mean, again, I don't know the intricacies of
Yeah,
a war.
I'm not the one
But
who's
if
making
it's-
that requirement.
If it's them.
It's them. It's the combat veterans outdoors.
I absolutely agree, that's who it should be directed at, I'm just wondering, but you said the keyword Purple Heart. That's.
Yeah, if you have a Purple Heart, that's a
What
combat.
about,
veteran.
I know, Mr. Knickerbocker at some point, and I don't remember when. But it was the idea of like a scholarship.
Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, that's another option and that's,
It's not sort of the committee anyway, so if we wanna give ourselves options. then-
yeah, I mean, that is another easy, that's actually an easier option.
To make a scholarship?
Yeah, so what you do is, we talked about, we could find veterans who have young children. And maybe they need, like, they go to Our Lady of Lakes, or maybe they want to do a college scholarship, or maybe they want to do, whatever they want to use it for education.
And how do you feel about it that it goes to a kid of a veteran, not maybe a veteran? Like, it's benefiting the veteran because it's their kid, but how is it gonna?
Well, no,
appeal to
definitely better.
you as a veteran
If
and
it's,
to the community as
Well,
it's the veteran's
It
kid?
directly benefits that veteran because he does not have to pay for whatever that amount, and he has saved money.
So it needs to be a veteran or a dependent of the veteran, no cousins, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters. Like-
Well, I would say it should be, I mean, let's see if we can find, like, let's say we find that at Miami Lakes or part of the American Legion, we find 3 or 4 veterans who have children, school-age children or kids in college. I mean, we get 17 grand, we got 4, we just divide it by 4 and each one gets whatever that amount is, 3,000.
How do we get them and find them and pick them
it could
and
be like an application process.
tap them and say apply?
Yeah,
Who's
I could
gonna
do
do
that, we could do
How are we
that.
gonna pick who?
Well, simple, we make an announcement at the post-Legion meeting. Hey,
Okay,
if you have a school-age child, or if you have a child that, you're trying to save money for college, There,
I'm thinking it could be sort of how the town foundation operates, where when wine festival money comes in. We have qualifications, you've got an organization or something. And then they bring it back to the town foundation meeting upstairs. And then they figure out, okay, we're gonna give money to this organization, to this organization. It could be, we get the money, we field applicants, we give it out at the Legion meetings or at local VA. We get applications, bring it to the committee, and then
Yeah, you're.
I like that.
Yeah. What if we had a foundation? And the funds were contributed to the foundation and we have a veterans foundation. And the money were to go to that foundation. It doesn't have to be spent for whatever reason, but if people want to apply for scholarships or whatever we decide, they would apply to this foundation. Can we do that?
well, tell me more about this foundation you were talking about.
yeah, the one that Lynn gives to and the one that runs
the
the.
town foundation.
What is that? It's a private foundation, correct? It's a 501c3.
Oh, I don't know.
Does
I don't know the intricacies of it.
Carousel runs it, right?
Yeah, it's Claricel, it's Ed, it's our CFO, Lynn.
So it must be affiliated with the town.
It's a town something. I don't know
I don't see, I didn't see a line
All I
number
know
on it
is-
in the budget.
All I know is foundation, food, wine, proceeds,
Go there.
figure out how to, give it back to the community. That's the extent of what I know.
That's
I
interesting.
guess in that sense, we could be the foundation. Maybe I have to get that clarified with.
I don't know how,
I don't think so.
I
You
don't-
have to open one and do all that.
yeah,
and
from,
Have all that. I'm not, no more foundations for me though. I'm out.
You're already involved.
Oh, I gotta know.
yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Jonathan. I need to know more about that. I kind of find it very interesting that there's a foundation.
Can we task the Miami Lakes Foundation to help?
It allows you to.
Can we send our money to that and earmark it for that with them? And we'll collaborate with them?
I believe it allows you to have money in a nonprofit organization. It doesn't have to be spent right away. It can stay there until the need
I know what you're
arises.
saying.
I mean,
I know
it's
what you're
already
saying.
that.
Arises, then.
I know what you're saying.
I
I know what you're doing though. I think it's
No,
great.
I thought about it too, actually.
I know you're working it.
I think of Lynn all the time.
I see where you're going.
You gonna ask Claire some?
No.
You gonna call her?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we need to figure out this foundation's legal status. I mean, how. Okay, so there's 2 options. Well, several options. One is really hard because it takes the mental health task force has to put something together. The scholarship one, I think Jonathan made it sound not that hard. Where we provide a scholarship to those. And we can even have it like, you get a priority, like a ranking system. If you have a Purple Heart, you can get a priority 1. If you have a, combat award, you get a priority 2.
I would love to be able to somehow have a reason to give it so that, you know, I don't, okay, first 10 people, you know, like if you're gonna have 20 applicants, we need to have criteria.
Exactly right. I
Yes,
mean,
for
so
sure.
that's why I'm saying, because, um, you know, all service is voluntary, but not all service was equal, some people gave more, So I think we create a criteria, if you have a Purple Heart, if you don't have, there's, kind of awards, do you have a Bronze Star, or do you have a combat action, that kind of stuff.
But you're very limited and.
And then you have, and then overseas campaign, some people don't have the combat action, but they served in the Vietnam theater, or they served, well, it won't be Vietnam, they're too
Right.
but they served in the Iraq theater and the Afghan theater. Cranky old man. And they served in the Afghan theater and Iraq theater, you know what I mean? And then you have, then you have the lowest, scoring where they just did their time and maybe they were stuck in Germany the whole time, and having a good old time and wearing lederhosen, So, but it's still, they were there, and they were in the army. So I think we create a structure like that, an application like that, and we will be able to, decide in the committee, we won't, we can say, look, we may want to give all the money to the one with the Purple Heart and, whatever action,
Can we
because,
give the money to Claire Soul's Foundation and she could give it back to his? No, he's still on the committee, so it's not gonna work.
well, thank you, that's called laundering, but,
Oh, the proper channels.
but that's an idea. No, I like that. No, I loved it too. But I'll be honest with you. I was really kind of thinking, I don't need that much money. I really didn't need that much money. I mean, maybe $1,000 and because right now it's a one-man show.
We could fundraise that separately.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, $1,000, how many stickers and how many flags could I have? 17,000. What am I gonna have? 5 million flags. I mean, I couldn't figure out how to do that. So I was kind of thankful when that came down, to be honest with you. Thank you. Because I was like thinking, I have no idea how my charity would be able to spend that money.
Scholarships.
So let's do this scholarship.
But what is a scholarship? Is that us, they say their kid's gonna go to college, here's $5,000 in cash, put in your bank, or how is it gonna be?
Yeah, that's the way it's done.
Money, here's money.
Yeah, you say,
It's not like-
here's, that's what way they do it. That's the way they do
It's
it.
like, oh, going to a 529 or any of that, it's just.
No,
money.
look, the VA does it. If you are 100% permanent total disabled, the VA, and you have a child in college, the VA sends you $1,200 a month. But they don't ask how you spent it.
You're not gonna argue with that.
You know what I mean? It's just sending you $1,200 a month
To help out.
to help out.
So then.
If you have
I'll
if you're 100%, so the
So I'm
way,
gonna go back to it
Mhm.
then and say that if we're gonna do this, then it needs to have people that are with kids in school already, paying
Yes.
for school,
yes,
because then it makes sense.
so it
like
has to
that.
be
You
the
just say, "Oh,
veterans,
I have a 5-year-old, I am a combat veteran, and I'm gonna send her to college maybe in 15 years. I don't think that sounds like a scholarship.
well, here's the thing, here's what I'm thinking, Judy. Some of these folks have kids in private schools, and private schools can cost quite a bit of money,
Mhm.
So we
Somehow
just
they're
call it,
not-
we just call it education. So if they want to spend it on,
But that's not fair if you have a veteran that has a kid in Our Lady of the Lakes, but then we have a veteran that has a kid at PSN or wherever, or Goldman or whatever it is.
well, because the deciding factor is basically, the deciding factor on who gets it will be, does this person have a Bronze Star? Does this person have a combat action? Does this person, so it will be on the
So it won't matter if
accomplishment,
they're going to school or private school or public school, if they're in high school, if they want to go to college.
doesn't
none
matter.
of that matters.
Yeah,
Just
because
because
it's,
School,
it's no, because it's an objective standard. It's based upon the service of the veteran. It's not based upon what the
well,
child's
it's not
doing.
need-based.
It's based upon the service of the veteran.
Okay, but like, the veteran's not gonna need the money if the kid's going to Goldman. We're just gonna give it to him?
Yeah, I suppose the kid not come to college, maybe he's a blue collar worker, he wants to go to vocational school.
I just think that if it's gonna be college kids, because.
Okay, if you want to
I
do
think
this,
it's not fair to,
or kids in school and they want to do a college fund. Well, you're gonna have a hard time finding,
I know. this is
Fine, you're gonna
actually,
have a-
like beating our things in walls.
well,
and
you
has
know,
years
the
on
kids,
this.
the ones who are with Afghanistan and Iraq veterans who were junior enlisted, they're now 30-something years old. And they got kids who are 8, 10, 12, maybe some are 14, you know?
Mhm.
That's it. And then the ones who were senior enlisted and officers, our kids are already done and through college,
Right,
you know? So we don't need the money. So we're basically looking at a population that's gonna have any kids anywhere from 8 to 17 years old. You know, so we can make criteria in the application. I think, you know, that's the thing we should come up with is, you know, whether they have a Purple Heart, you know, it should be, you know, the veteran service, quality of service should be the biggest thing, you know? Because I don't want a guy who has a Purple Heart and was combat wounded, not losing out on the war to somebody who did 4 years in Germany. And, you know, basically I enjoyed Oktoberfest and Lederhosen because, you know, he has a worse job or his, you know, his son's in college now, you know?
I agree.
So, I mean, I think the standard is what did the veteran do for our country? The more you did, the more you should get.
So let's just go back to the purity that I've said from day one. I'd like to hand each veteran in Miami Lakes money. So let's just go on service merit alone. Let's find our veterans in Miami Lakes, and let's give them the money, whether they have kids, not kids, dogs, cats. Let's help them with life and give them the money.
That's a little bit more daunting.
I mean, there's a period of time to apply for this.
I guess you can make an
Right, right.
application, and I guess, you know, I mean.
I have a white bee, one white bee. It's actually clean.
I guess, we can,
One blood thinners. I cut myself shaving. It's like an axe murder. It's most ridiculous and goes on.
oh, man.
On some- Big tree.
Well. I mean, that's another idea. How would we do that? Just an application? Hey, veterans, here's some free money.
They're all ideas.
I mean, how do we sell
Holiday
that?
money for our veterans in Miami Lakes.
I mean, by
December
financial,
9th.
by non-financial need? I mean, that's. To me, I feel a little bit better with an educational.
Okay. All right,
I mean, don't you
Yeah, the
think?
idea of cutting checks to what that would look like and.
Yeah, because you can have a lot of folks who were doing pretty well. And have a lot of combat awards,
okay, so we're
and
doing the
that you don't
same
need the
thing.
money.
We're doing the same thing now, but we're gonna tie it to that they have to have a kid. And
Yes,
they could be doing really well,
yes.
so it's no different.
No, not really. I
Okay,
mean,
just,
because there'll be that age, group.
How are you?
There'll be that age, group. Or maybe we do a needs based,
needs based.
Huh?
How do we-
yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah.
But I think the
Thank you.
easiest thing is they submit a DD 214. We see the awards they had. And we rack and stack them by that, and we just give it to those folks who have kids in college. Thank you. Kids in high school, kids and school age kids. And just rack and stack it based upon the quality of the service of the veteran.
Pedro, when we did the first,
Yes, sir.
we did the first run. With the, when we had the, you know, the run, we collected all that money.
Yes, sir.
Who did we give that money to the first time? Yeah, 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
No, I remember.
Whatever.
Remember this year, if we need, Renee, the stage, don't pay anything because
We're not getting,
before,
We're not gonna-
go, we just try it for free. Renee give it to me.
we're
I
not
mean,
gonna put on it, we don't want
they
it.
bring it in, or if you need it, I'm saying, don't spend any money
No, we're not.
because both usually give it to me.
Here either.
And I hear this year we pay for the.
No, we didn't pay any money on the stage, we paid for the sound and the light, the
But they
electric.
give it to me all the time.
No, we got it for free.
How's the cash?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess this is a lesion of that.
Was it
Yeah.
not, was it not,
No, same thing, which are we together.
fishing,
I have a lot of
fishing
fun.
with America's Finest? I don't know what it's called.
The one that from 2 years ago, or 3 years
These are all
ago,
good
4 years
ideas.
ago.
All good ideas.
You were right.
It was in 4.
What's the easiest, fastest thing to
Let me see,
execute?
let me see what you have. You need, I think I have bandage. You need it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, wait a minute.
So, okay, so,
All
right. oh, scholarship,
It's stupid. I mean, I. cut
Yeah,
myself
this,
shaving.
okay.
mental health, task force.
Yeah.
I think the need,
Wow,
And what was the other one? Did we have another idea?
I have 8.
Uh,
Got it clipped?
Well, you're looking for
You got
the
it clipped?
original
You get clipped
beneficiary.
in?
No,
You
no,
have
that's,
a
Can we find it?
no, no. they-
I don't have the reference for that.
I play golf today. I play 18 holes. I play with guys that are 20 years younger than me. I swear, I can't play anymore. I mean, come on.
Okay. So here's what I think.
There's your,
Thank you. All right,
I think we got two ideas on the table. We got the scholarship idea and we got the mental health task force idea. The pros of the scholarship one, it's easy to do. We can come up with the criteria pretty quick and the application pretty fast. I mean, I can basically type out the application right now in my head and send it to him and he'll put it on the website. And then we could have the application submitted with people's DD 214s and then rack and stack them by quality of service. As a committee.
I think we should also keep in mind, whatever we're doing now, it's something we can follow up with the next one for next year, so we don't have to put our heads, just get one thing we're behind and continue to.
Yeah, and so, and then that's where I was doing with the other one, is the mental health task force.
I love.
It'll be
it.
awesome to do, but it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking,
That could be for next year with them.
yeah, maybe next year. We can ask them to figure something out for next year.
I like that idea a lot.
Because that
Like
really,
mental health.
that has a lot of synergy going for it. I mean, it has the mental health task force working with us. It has our veterans working with local providers, creating relationships and maybe continue. That's that one's good for next year.
I like the idea for next year that, and I know we're talking, but I like the idea of veterans awareness. And some of the things that fall into that, like when you talked about the program for the kids, it's almost like the idea for, I like for the water path for the kids. Positive images of veterans, okay, thank you.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I know.
And that, it's something we could sustain. And we could spend our money on awareness, on.
Yeah.
And that's basically, when you go to schools and you read story time or whatever.
Yeah.
You're creating awareness. If you look at any of the major.
I'm even gonna teach them the Army song. But I don't have to explain what a caisson is.
Yeah, I didn't know what a case on was. That's a cannon thing they roll, right?
It's the ammunition storage stuff for
Is that what
cannons.
it is?
Oh my God, this is.
I have some reference for
Yeah,
the past years.
That's why we're
if you want.
doing it.
What is it?
So there is veterans treatment of PTSD, specifics on that, and MPS superhero foundation. Which
I mean, it's stupid.
Well, I think what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna,
children
You got
with
off it.
interested
You got it. You
I
got
think
off
what we're gonna
it.
do is we're gonna do the scholarship.
Hmm.
And but I think for next year, we're gonna do the mental health task force. We're gonna cooperate with them. So I'll talk to them and I'll get them kind of energized
Cool.
about it.
is that the right, is that the,
I wanna roll this up. and
So,
more padding.
There's a motion on the table to recommend to the full committee that we develop a educational scholarship program for Miami Lakes affiliated veterans and school age children. Do I have anyone second the motion?
Wait, I didn't hear it. We're trying to do an emergency setup here. We're doing a field. What do you call it?
Field dressing.
Field dressing.
Already gonna put all our damage in.
No, I gotta med it.
Scratch
Now,
your own arm.
I gotta med it.
I saw it happen.
I'm a medic.
Scratched your own arm.
It was here when you came here. It was already there.
Okay, well, the motion on the table is to recommend to the full committee that we do the scholarship program for school-age children of veterans that are either Miami Lakes residents or affiliated with Miami Lakes, via like the Post Legion, et cetera. Do I have a second?
Second, Pedro.
Second, Pedro. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I think we should maybe put a second option for.
But again, yeah,
if we blow it up
again,
and-
we're for this, but it's gotta go before the committee. And they have to look at whether or not it's feasible, because we're just talking about it.
Council.
And right, the council, we're just talking about it right now. We don't know whether or not it'd be a practical thing to do. It sounds like it would be, but is it really? I mean, do we have veterans that live in Miami Lakes, the area that we're gonna target, that actually have
School-age children?
School age.
Oh, yeah, we do. Quite a few in post one.
And are we gonna have kids that are, that are elementary school, that are 6-8 years from college?
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's sort of like when they do the education fund money.
Right.
the foundation gives it out to, scholarship money. They just go, here you go, here's scholarship money, where the family decides to put it in a scholarship. We can't tell them how to do their money, we can't direct people how they're gonna.
Let's have
get-
an option too, just for the community's sake, in case, so we're done,
All right.
in case they don't like that, hoping they will.
Well, what's
Probably
option
will.
two?
I really like to get past this thing and just get.
No, it's killing me, it's draining me.
Well, give me an easily executable option.
Or back to the veteran outdoor guys, for this year again,
Like I said, that's a very limited group that can go.
okay.
Purple Hearts.
Hialeah called me, give me 50 flags, I brought it in.
Well, I mean,
To bring
actually
actually,
not much.
So we're gonna,
Did
so
you
we're
guys
gonna.
look at
we'll
the
scholarship
foundation?
people,
No, I was gonna say maybe like leaching out into highly if there are any, but I'm not gonna. I makes money, highly. like,
yeah, it's different.
I'm not gonna.
I think, the only one, unfortunately, the only one we have that is specific and executable and we have a roadmap of how it was done in the past is a scholarship.
I'm good, let's do it.
Another thing, just not the person, but what about memorial? When a veteran dies, and maybe it's the same criterion parameters, whatever you said. That, because if you look at the money that the government actually chips in, it's not a lot, doesn't pay for a funeral. But if we were to help in that respect, that could be something else. Just a thought.
Well, actually.
Memorial
Depends where they do the funeral, but it would pay for almost all of it under the VA. If we qualify.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I still think in the mail, reading all this stuff. It's.
So a funeral for a Miami Lakes resident that is a veteran.
That's
I'm gonna be
hard.
in Scotland,
I
but thank you
I
for
don't-
the invite.
I don't know.
By the time,
Who are you?
we could,
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'd rather give it to somebody who's alive. So they can enjoy it rather than, I'd just rather give it to someone alive, but you made me think of something. I think something that's quickly executable and that we had it previously done before, anytime you have something, a model you can copy off of,
Yeah,
it's the best to go with that.
That's why I love the idea when she did the run last year, she documented, she made a blueprint how to do it again. And that was wonderful. If you do all that stuff that we're, like she did that. Down the road, 2-3 years from now, we're no longer in the council, we're not, and the next group comes along and just pick up what we left off. We got
Well, that's right. Usually I forgot to bring my binder, but that's why I have my binder. Okay, so we're looking at the scholarship one. All right.
Yeah.
Can we think of anything else? I like to, well, you made me think of this foundation wise. Is, we had the ideas on how to develop Veterans Park. So, I'd like to find out more information about this foundation that the town has. What's that all about?
Yeah, I'm sure it has something.
It has
you
a
know,
mission
it's
statement.
established by resolution, or if it's like
I like to hear about it, because I like to know what's the structure, what's its authority, why is it chaired by the CFO, the town manager, and the head of,
Yeah, I don't know, they just.
that's kind of interesting to me.
maybe I'm-
And it's not appropriated, and it's not appropriated funds. So that's interesting to me, being, a guy who worked in government for 30 something years. But,
I don't know if she's in the town capacity, it might be hers.
they all could be just members in private
They're board
capacity.
members.
Yeah, the board members in private capacity, and
Yeah, I don't wanna
that's,
like. I don't
and
wanna
that's
mislead or-
absolutely
I-
fine. That's absolutely
I
fine.
just know it exists.
But I just think, it's, I'd like to know how that works. But,
Scholarship.
anyway. So that's what we're gonna do.
Little update on the.
What else we got?
Little update.
How are we doing with the date? That.
Oh, yeah, that's done.
There you go. That's like,
We got a contract, we got a date.
the contract was signed. It's signed, still delivered with our amendment that,
They have to come and make sure they show up.
I know,
That's
I
like,
was
yeah.
like, that's, I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way, but. It's like,
It's just-
whatever,
it's an
it's
act.
signed, yeah, it's signed. Right now, we're trying to figure out something about, branding water stations, that goes into sponsorship, that's not sorted out yet, but.
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
you start the new, did you make some, are you working on the,
The graphics,
and the graphics and also the different sponsorship
We,
packages that we
I'm-
talked about?
I'll talk to you after the meeting, after the main meeting, because something's not right with the graphics, like the files.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird. Jacob and I were trying to, like, we look like cavemen, we're trying to figure it out, but
you couldn't open the files?
it's not that, it's just, there's like artifacting on it, there's like weird outline.
Are you copied it with Felix?
I believe so, I mean, I,
Just answer back and tell them and they'll fix whatever you need. It's, do you have problems, just tell them, they'll do it.
so,
Please.
What updates?
What about,
We submitted the pricing schedule, thank you guys for voting on that.
Yay.
Yeah, it's kind of just. I don't know that there's many updates besides the wrench in the wheel on the beneficiaries, but. Maybe in the main meeting, if the committee agrees to sort of like. Amend the council report, maybe that's a good time to bring it up. Again, it's still to be decided upon. in
And then we'll amend the council report. I'm sorry, Jonathan, I missed what you said earlier. Amend the council in regards to what?
The beneficiary for the upcoming, because I think in the. First
I
report,
amended it, yeah, I amended it.
first report was the first option. The fixed report was,
Mental health task force.
We're looking for,
Yeah,
we're still exploring. This next, after tonight's meeting, it's maybe. And we probably don't have to resubmit it to the clerk, because it's too late anyways, but it's the committee giving you permission to like. Say, yeah, we're looking at a scholarship, maybe we're looking at.
well, I think we're gonna vote on the scholarship, because that's the only one we have that's specific, that's actionable. That
Oh,
relates
saying
to the
since we-
mission,
If the
that
committee, since
we
you're
can get
reporting,
done and, in time.
since you're reporting on Tuesdays, it'll be good to have something instead of. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah, so I'll just amend that report. I'll just say this is the change.
Don't worry
We
about it.
voted on that.
If.
I'll just tell them to amend that report to include the following changes.
Larry submitted, reindeer.
these?
You wanna bring that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found some, this is a pretty good source. I use these
How
for,
much are those each?
it looks to be probably $1.50, $1.60, depending on the shipping.
Okay,
And there was one of the things that, that we talked about earlier, that may be a problem with antlers. When you put them on your head and you're running,
they're gonna
they
fly.
may
off.
not, they're gonna fly off. But I did a little research into that, and this particular one right here, and on the samples, it's supposed to be here, it'll probably be here tomorrow. But you can take, if you have them on your head, like with the pictures, when everybody's, in the beginning, starting line, it'll make a great picture. But when you're running, you can take it off and actually take one of the antlers, slide it down your waistband, and still run with it, and it's right there, you're not gonna drop it. And they're soft, and it's not gonna
You're gonna
interfere
go
with your.
around,
Huh?
Whatever.
No, it won't. They're very soft, and they won't mess with it.
With
So
it.
in other words, you can have it, take it off, and you can slide it, and you'll see it, so either. $1.60 a piece, it ordering 700, and that would include freight. I don't know, it could be $1.50 in between there, that's what we're looking at. If we did the purchase. I could buy them, and I'd like to get reimbursed in a reasonable time, or you could just pay directly. It'd be through Alibaba.com, and it's a supplier
And then,
that
kind of a quote,
pardon me?
that's a quote,
Does the town have an account with Alibaba? Do you guys,
I don't think so. I don't know. I think
it's
there's
like Amazon, same kind of
I
thing.
know, but there's like a weird resolution, I believe from
Not
last
to do
year
with
about dealings with China or other. I mean,
I buy
yeah,
umbrellas, I
Alibaba.
buy teddy bears, water bottles, I buy promotional items.
Yeah, Alibaba's a Chinese corp.
Yeah.
You could buy it through his company,
You
right?
buy it through my
But he's
company,
a,
I-
but he's a
No,
committee member, might benefit
Yeah.
them, that's a problem.
Exactly right.
I
You'll
would-
have a conflict of interest again.
I mean, and I think in the resolution, it's as long as we exhaust other options, it's fine.
I'm exhausted.
I can give you all the contact information where to buy it.
The option,
I
check,
mean, no,
he's
Paul,
opted.
you give an invoice and we can make it work, but,
I can get an invoice from that company.
or call, yeah, bring it to the committee.
You pay them.
I mean, Alibaba, all they're doing is being a distributor, so maybe we can find the actual company. And
Well, I do, I've got all the information, I got the actual company.
Yeah.
Alibaba collects the money and they hold
They take
that
they take a,
trade assurance and all
Yeah.
that stuff they do. I just did a deal, I bought like thousands of teddy bears.
yeah, but I think there is prohibitions about dealing with companies with the Chinese.
Hey,
So what else? We got the antlers.
good morning.
Good morning.
And so we just need you to get, for the next meeting, get the,
Probably
I couldn't find
2
out.
months. lead time. That- that's- Yeah, 2 months.
So we need to, we're running out of time. We need to, Larry, have you coordinated effort, any status on volunteers? Now Mario is out.
Okay, well, going to the, on volunteers on the, you're talking about for the,
The run.
not yet.
The run.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. We go through gold, for the gold, like we go through.
Yeah, I think, Michael's.
It's a little bit early for that. But it should be an issue.
And Miami Lake, the Miami Lakers, somebody was gonna reach out to the Miami Laker to make sure we get some lift and some.
That sounded like, I think that was time. Jonathan, did Iowa Station will reach out to Miami Laker, or do you remember? Huh?
To help, to get a story run, so we can get lift on this thing when we release it, when our big press release comes out and we can actually sell tickets.
No, that's an issue by issue, basically. If we could, I actually believe the deadline was either yesterday or tomorrow, but
How far out? Are they 2 weeks?
there, yeah.
So
Every 2 weeks, yeah.
So, I mean, that's, I mean, they're very accommodating. for
Talk to
us.
Gina,
As long as they don't take
Gina has a
advantage.
good relation with Linda. And she said.
Well, now
"Hey,
my rental agency just finally advertised with this, so maybe they'll be a little more nice this year. Because last year they wouldn't even cover nothing. Nothing, nothing, zero. I tried, I asked. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm
well,
asking somebody
yeah,
else
yeah,
that
well-
knows them.
We can, I guess we can reach out and see if.
Well, I can get about the news, set of news.
That's better than,
He's he does it in English and Spanish.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just
we did
given
with
this.
Lucero, yeah.
I just gave it this last week. He already printed. I have it. I had about 5 bunches of newspaper in my car. You know.
Yeah, we
With
did
this one.
Lucero, and that's even
This is
better.
quality, look at this.
He goes in about 118 different buildings around Miami Lake. I tell you.
Do you need somebody to write an article? Are you gonna write an article? Are you gonna write something?
You can write an article. I give it to him. I can tell Miguel. You can talk to
Well,
him.
I'm
Do
not-
we have any pictures? Do we have any past articles on it?
Oh,
On a radio run?
we have pictures on it. We've done recap posts. That's why, you know, we're very happy to have the visual.
If you have a recap post,
Jacob. We have great photos.
yeah, why don't you, can we put something together? Little photo thing, 2 or 3 photos and then they're like a little recap post and then kind of what it is, and
Yeah, I mean,
then we can give it to Vocero and then they can.
I'd rather take care of that than have not that I don't, you know, want your guys' input.
You got it.
But
Let them-
if-
they're the.
Because then the committee would have,
That's cool.
we would have to vote to decide.
No, I mean, we don't wanna stifle your artisticness.
I wonder,
So, yeah, you run with it. And when Pedro comes back, let's see if he can get you the point of contact for Vocero and they'll publish it. Huh? Anything else, Judy?
No, I don't think so.
This was actually kind of easy. I mean, yeah,
You can use my fire truck for the water station.
Thank you.
well, I think that's not the awesome.
He
That
called
Vocero, is it?
the Chamber of Commerce. He called the Chamber of Commerce. He don't charge anything.
Yeah, but
He
yeah.
charged right here. This is
give a copy to John, can you give a copy to Jonathan? Give a
Sure.
copy to Jonathan,
I got
that way Jonathan knows who the point of contact is to send the
you
information.
told me and I talked to him.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Well, I got to give it this one. He already got it.
Right. There a motion on the table to adjourn the subcommittee meeting?
Motion to adjourn the subcommittee.
Second.
Necessary to have rest for anyone.
No, it's a Spanish and English. Next page.
Yeah, in both ends. Yes.
Oh, that meeting's over.
at 18:30. Well, I didn't call.
Please call the roll, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, Mr. Perez.
Here.
Mr. Gorman. Here. Myself, Mr. Cardenas.
Here.
Ms. Farquharson.
Yep.
Mr. Fialo.
Here,
Chavez has resigned formally.
Okay, he's formally resigned?
Yes.
Speaking of
see,
the
here,
Is that?
Nicole contacted me. She cannot make it.
Okay. Okay, so when I do the minutes, I will bring Mario.
No.
Okay, and Nevin's not here yet.
Yeah.
Ed is here
Ed is here. Chris Locker's on active.
Active duty.
duty.
and Chad. First organization.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 people. We have a forum.
How about,
Well, we have a, not on the roster is Catherine.
your name's Catherine? Yes.
Okay, has she been sworn in?
I was.
Yeah. Oh,
So she needs to be added.
well, that's right, put another on the bottom, yeah, and name it.
Catherine's your last?
Catherine Alvarez with the BSN. It's K-
Hey, we got 8.
got it. You got it.
We're good. Okay, please rise for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Remove your covering, please. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Please take your seats. Hey, public comments. I see we have Grand Canyon University.
Yes, hi, good afternoon or good evening rather. My name's Yvette Diaz and I've met Gary, I've met Mr. Perez, I've met you, I've met a few of you and I wanted to just stop by and say hello and introduce myself to some of you that I haven't met. I'm the military counselor with Grand Canyon University here in South Florida. So I've met most of you on the sides with the post meetings, which I'm wondering when is the next ones to see of this month. Okay, so I'll jot that in my calendar. I participated in the 4th of July event and that was a great hit. I had a great time. So I wanted to come and get some more information because I know Veterans Day is soon coming up on us and maybe you had some good information to share with me as I'm an active community partner. If any of you, let me take a look here. Okay, this will be I'll make sure to review this once I'm out of here, but I've got some flyers that you guys could just have, just so you can browse some of our programs. I know that some of you might not know who all we are, but I'll share some of these flyers now
Don, do
here.
we have sponsorship opportunities for Grand Canyon University, either on the reindeer run or for Veterans Parade?
I would like to get as much money as possible.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, again, the sponsorship package is not solidified yet, but I'm sure. I don't see any problem with it.
Yeah, we have Veterans Day Parade
Right,
and we have the reindeer run. And those are
Okay.
2 sponsorship opportunities that you could even set up a little information, especially the reindeer run, where we get a lot of students.
when's that? Let me go ahead and December
That's
9th.
December 9th.
Okay,
Last time we got like 600 something people.
Yeah.
And about 200 of them were high school students, and a
okay.
bunch were veterans as well, and it was a good mix of folks. who would
Okay,
be
great.
Probably interested in the Grand.
The parade is November.
Yvette, can you tell me your last name again?
DS.
Yes.
Parade is November 5th.
November.
Okay, so I will connect with Gary, because I know that in the past we've sponsored together with the post, so maybe
Yes.
that's something that we want to do again.
Yeah, for the parade, we're gonna have a float, that's gonna be through the post.
That'd be great. So just a little bit of what I do, I've mentioned in the past, so Grand Canyon University is completely online university. I, as a military counselor, I come with a little bit of the, I walk you through using your GI Bill and such, utilizing tuition assistance for those that are active duty. And we offer a lot of great programs for transitioning military members that are transitioning to civilian life. So one of the flyers that I definitely want you all to like pass down if you could is our first responders programs. We have a lot that we've created just to help and assist a lot of these military members that when they get out of the service, they go into the police stations, they go into fire stations, they go into becoming nurses. So the bread and the butter of a lot of our programs is definitely our health and our nursing programs, but these first responding programs that we've created have also have facilitated so that the service members. I don't know if I have another one of that, but I can
There you go.
definitely
Yeah,
make
you
it.
can take it, you know.
They're transfer friendly programs. So we've taken into account the service that you've done in the military through your JST. And we would apply a lot of the coursework and training that you've done in the military towards your degree program. So instead of looking at, 4 years for a bachelor's degree program, you could do it in half the time.
That's great.
Okay.
And this is a private school,
This is a private Christian university. Yes. Mhm.
but it's only for military?
So I am the military counselor. It's not just for military students. I am just, I've trained with working with military students and, their methods of payments and some of the, things that might come about in their career. So I work with them, but it's open to pretty much any student looking to go back to school.
And the VA actually. They don't let somebody have to.
They endorse them?
Yeah, because in order for you to be known as a school that tuition assistance, so that the military will go ahead and like pay for, you have to meet certain criteria and have an MOU, and we're one of those schools that has that partnership. So
Have you gone to the public safety committee meeting?
I have not.
So they actually do a lot of first responder stuff.
Okay.
Like they have a fire rep on there, a police rep, specifically for the first responder programming. I think that would be.
That'd be
I can
great.
give you their meeting schedule
Perfect.
as well.
So I'll follow up with Gary so that we can know a little bit more about the Veterans Day parade that's coming up. And then I'll follow up with you because I know you mentioned too possibly getting me a contact with the police department, because I would love to go ahead and just drop off some stuff. But
Give it a break to her.
You are, and it's a national accredited.
it's a regionally accredited university. Mhm. Which is the good kind of accreditation, the accreditation that the Department of Education approves. So if you have any questions for me, again, Gary has like my phone number and, we've been in
He's
contact.
a lucky one, Harry.
Yes, he does. We talk, and he was thinking about me today. So como dice el dicho, ya no me muero más nunca. So that's good. Well, do you have any questions for me or anything I can provide in the meantime?
No, thank you very much. We really
All right,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much for having me, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, have a great rest of your evening, and I've got there
You
to
too.
follow up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, order of business, any deferrals, petition for the week?
Have a good evening.
Right. Okay, moving on, let's review, adopt the minutes from, July. Mr. Secretary, did a great job with the minutes as always. Please take a chance, it starts on page 9. Yes. Any comments or concerns?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as they are.
Second,
Okay, there's a motion on the table to approve the minutes as they are. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, minutes are approved.
And I see we have a subcommittee minutes there.
Yes. So,
How does that work, Jonathan? Do we,
I think they just go in.
how does it work? Do we have to approve the subcommittee minutes? Or
Where, I mean,
the ones we have attached on page 8, subcommittee minutes? I mean, these folks weren't in the subcommittee. Maybe the subcommittee should approve the subcommittee minutes.
well, it's like, it's the same way that council has to approve their workshop and it's, there's no action.
A motion to approve the subcommittee minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, subcommittee minutes are approved. All right. Took care of that issue, but I. with my own. Good. Okay, old business.
I mean,
You nay, one nay.
yeah,
Yeah, because he wasn't present.
No, I
I
know,
know, because it's a subcommittee meeting, so.
Yeah.
Different procedure.
I agree with you. I think we should have approved in the subcommittee. But, you know, we-
100% and then bring it to,
Yeah,
so I may.
okay. Old business. Reindeer Run 2023 update, subcommittee meeting information.
So, we made some progress last meeting and you guys voted to approve the proposed new benefactor for the 2023 Reindeer Run. I don't know if everybody got the email that has been shot back, that it says it's just not going to qualify. So-
it did feel good tonight.
No, it's okay.
It's
I
okay.
mean, look,
No, I know.
there's conflict of
We're
interest.
working
is a conflict of
together,
interest.
yeah, we're working together.
Okay,
So,
I mean, the rule is the rule, the law is the law. I have no problem complying with the rule and the law.
so our subcommittee, we discussed a couple of options and would like to bring to a vote to the committee to consider a scholarship fund that'll be for veterans' children, so veterans, and you want to explain how?
Yeah, I think
that
we're
process?
talking about what can we execute that has been done before by other committees. So there's like a plan, a template that we can follow. And that would also assist those veterans with school age children. So we decided to look at setting up a scholarship program for veterans who have school age children. And it'll be an application process. They do this already, I think, through other committees. Education committee did one, but not to veterans. They just kind of did it for other bases.
That was
And-
the grand company.
Well, the grant companies did it. Yeah, they use
The grand scholar.
another, I guess, whatever screening process they use. And the screening process we were thinking about using was based upon the quality of the veteran's service. So for example, if we get, we get the DD 214, we see their Purple Heart recipient, combat action. That'll get extra points, you know what I mean? And then, if they have combat action and overseas service in combat zone, that'll get points, and so of course, we're gonna try to figure out, based upon the applications, how many scholarships we can give out, and we can even tier them if we want, like the one who was better quality of service to give more money, or we can just give equal amount of money to everybody. So it's just based upon that. And so we're still flushing out the qualification aspects as far as how we're going to, what are the criterias? I mean, it's kind of easy to figure out. And then, so basically what we need to do is decide whether or not we want to move forward with the scholarship idea. So then that way I can come up with the criteria, present it to the board, the committee. We can talk about it, and then we can do up the application, and we have it all ready to go for this one.
I don't know how much time we have to hash it out, because we're gonna probably have to have a special call. If not, then we're gonna have to come back one quick time to vote once he has it. So I don't know
Yeah,
how much horsepower everybody has right now, but I think if we can maybe brainstorm through, I don't know how far we could get through it. if
well, I
you
can,
guys wanna
yeah, that's a
do
good
it,
idea. So let's,
Just to save time, because we
Okay.
should have already been live. July 1st was the goal to sell tickets, and it is August.
so, okay, so the target group will be veterans with school age children, right? And I say, our screening process will be, in my opinion, those with the highest priorities will be Purple Heart recipients. right? Or what do you think, or should we do Valor Medal first?
I would say veterans.
Well, no, they're all veterans, we have
Yeah.
Purple Heart, we have veterans.
But I have a question.
Yeah, I would be, when we say veterans, do we include people on active duty? Are we including active duty, or are we including active reserve?
That's a good point.
I
I
would
mean, we have
say,
reservists in the area that,
hmm. Well, I
they're
think,
gonna be veterans.
But if you're talking combat.
but they're not veterans yet, they're on active
And if
duty.
you're talking combat action or Purple Heart, I mean, they're not gonna.
One day of
Well, they can have it.
honorable service qualifies them as veterans.
Yeah, 1 day of honorable service qualifies them as veterans.
So they
That's
are
right, they're veterans.
I agree with that, so they'll be eligible to apply for the
How are you going to identify, how are we going to identify and notify these veterans to apply for the scholarship? How do we reach out to them?
we go to the post, right?
And,
Well,
and upstairs,
Pardon me?
communication department.
Yeah,
I think we keep through the communications department and maybe
Do
in
we
the
have-
maker or.
Do we have a list or how do we reach out?
No,
to
there's
them?
no list.
How do we reach out? Do we advertise? What do we do?
On our post we have, veterans who probably could. Yeah, small children.
We all know there's a lot of veterans that don't belong to our post or committee. So how do we reach out to the veterans how do we target them? How do we get the word out to them?
Miami Laker, the
Yeah.
yeah.
the website.
Because that require a line item for budget.
We have to, we can use it. We used to link it.
If we could get
If you're offering a scholarship to people, it has to be for everyone in the town, not that they're involved with the Legion or anything like that, I think, in my opinion.
But they would just have to be like means of advertising. it.
Yes.
Now,
Now, are we gonna target just people who live here in town, right? Just veterans, or are we gonna go full?
Yeah, see, that's one of the things,
That's
the
the other
post
thing.
actually, the post has folks who don't live in Miami Lakes, okay? So, I think what we want to do is we probably want to limit it to people who live in Miami
Yeah.
Lakes who are veterans. If we're gonna use money generated by the Veterans Committee of Miami Lakes.
Well, the mission of the committee is.
The mission of the committee has to do with Miami Lakes.
Correct.
Okay, so it doesn't have to do with folks who live in Doral or folks who live in Miramar.
So my question is, how do we get the word out to them? Do we advertise? in the
But it
newspaper?
would be really.
That's actually much easier now that we limited the scope. Now that we limited the scope to this veterans that live in Miami Lakes, that's much easier to reach.
Sure, they get nice scholarships.
Well,
I mean, it.
with more money.
Is that gonna sell good, do you think, to sell tickets?
I mean, it's a lot easier, like supporting veterans, families, education, opportunity, those are great ways to sell it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can use our,
mean,
limiting
you know-
it to Miami Lakes.
Well, let me throw this idea, let me throw this idea out there, because. My concern is we may not have enough applicants just for
Yeah,
Miami Lakes. So let's make a Miami Lake resident like. A criteria, one like,
Yes.
a criteria that we say, okay, you have that, just in case. We don't have enough Miami Lakes residents applying. Because then we can look at people like who are belong to the American Legion, who had school-age children but live in PSM, but they volunteer all the time in Miami Lakes during our Memorial Day.
Right, or they have a business here like we did. with other
Yeah.
things.
You got the same criteria. you
Work
have
or
in the committee.
visit that.
You work here, have a business here.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that
For the commercial.
And
Yeah.
I would
for
clear
banners.
anything like that legally.
So the Miami Lake, I
language-
think would be sufficient to, Jonathan, how much we reach out?
Go ahead, Ed.
Ed, go ahead.
I think legally you have to clear that language with town council or something like that. That's very specific. I don't think you can just say, oh, Miami Lakes expanded to Palm Springs North. I mean, again, I would try whatever language we agree with. I would take it and make sure it's approved by town council.
Okay, I wanna
That's
see
a
what
good recommendation.
and like.
Because you don't want the one guy that didn't get it to then come back and sue everybody and all that.
When's the next council meeting?
Obviously,
Next week.
Tuesday.
Next week, no. Yeah, next week.
Yeah, that's
Is
what-
that the meeting you have
Next Tuesday.
sent the,
Yeah.
So that you can do this along with that?
Yeah.
The eighth, yeah, the eighth.
Yeah.
Next meeting is the eighth.
I'll be there to cheer you on. What, to cheer you on?
Larry, what was your question?
Peanut gallery.
Mr. Morgan? What was your question?
It's been answered.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think we
Well,
use the
then-
same language that we use
For the
for the
committee.
town banners.
I don't think. I don't think that's how it works, is you're giving money away.
Except the town banners have
Includes the post members because.
Why not present at the council?
But you're concerned, Ed, because
Your concern is not,
Dude, like everything
it's
else,
the,
right?
it's the money.
it's the money, yeah.
Why not present at the council? in the form
Like
of-
I can't, like McDonald's plays a Monopoly game, but you don't have to. Purchase to buy, you get like. I'm telling you, there's people that just do that to like.
Yeah, just to shake it down.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
So I would be very cautious about something.
They would have to be vetted, obviously, once, they apply.
Yeah, I think you have to be clear about the language, right, when you advertise.
so here's what we're looking at. We're looking at veterans,
Need a whole. Wrinkled penthouse for
Um,
lawyers to like this thing.
Yes.
This could get kind of.
Oh, we're gonna call Greenberg and get Washington on it.
I mean, we can make it overcomplicated, but you know what? There's no contractual obligation created by us giving a gift. I don't think there's a contractual obligation where what would be the cause of action? I wasn't picked.
But we're
Oh, yeah.
But we're dispersing money
Yeah, exactly.
that was
What's the
brought in by a town function.
It doesn't matter.
intentional infliction of emotional distress? What's the basis?
Discrimination will be like the number one
I
thing.
would say that, I would say there was improperly advertised, I would say it's like government funds that's available to everyone. I would not do it that.
I see.
What would you
Well,
do?
that's, I mean,
I would do it like we've done it all. the
but,
time.
but that speaks towards going back to saying that it's
Okay.
limited to Miami Lakes residents.
And why hasn't every scholarship fund that we've done in this town had that issue?
Because no. Ambulance.
Where's the precedent?
My precedent?
No, where's the precedent that I haven't seen?
A lot
any
of
of
this,
that?
Dude, it just takes one person to do that.
No, I
You get what I'm
understand.
saying?
We can't live in fear.
I don't think that special education.
That
for the
speaks for
scholarship that they do.
limiting it to
Who pays legal to fight
Strictly
that?
Miami
The
Lakes
town?
resident
The town?
students.
Or
I
just-
don't think they're
Or
Miami
that.
Lakes students.
And
And-
then
I mean,
you want us for that?
We talked about maybe expanding
I'm
it to
the
make it
concerned person in my company. I stop all this.
All right, so.
available.
Okay.
But if you don't want to make it more available, if we want to keep it as Miami
education
Lakes
board.
residents. There's no
So,
issue.
The grant
I think
companies.
the-
Then that issue goes away.
Yeah, so if we just limit it to Miami Lakes residents, it's done. Okay. so Miami Lakes residents,
Resident, no.
then
What makes
cross
sense?
tax bridge against it.
If we don't, if we don't have enough,
That is really the easiest.
Larry, to answer your question, if we don't have enough Miami Lakes residents, then we roll it over.
Then
and
the
it
one
becomes-
person that applies wins.
Yeah, which is all.
Right, they gotta.
Right.
One kid.
No, if
Dad's a veteran or.
If we
mom's a
determine,
veteran.
if we determine a
Monetary amount.
monetary amount,
Mhm.
and we say that they require to be Miami Lakes residents. If we have enough money to cover 10 of them, fine, and if we only have one applicant.
And we'll say they're 5,000 each. and
Then,
that's it.
no, then what we do is we roll it over into the following year,
Yeah, 100%.
okay?
So let's determine how much this, 5,000 each, 2,000 each. What do you guys want? What are you guys thinking?
Well,
Exactly, you have to come up with a number.
Okay, so here's,
Yeah.
let's go with
You guys are-
criteria. We got Miami Lakes residents.
Just very quickly,
Wait, listen.
to,
is it, and then what is the scholarship for?
just for the Education Advisory Board and the Graham Scholar, again, it is involving the Graham, so it's not. Maybe it's private versus public.
Oh, they can get sued too.
They're very explicit with. To resident, a high school senior who resides in the town of Miami Lakes.
Okay, so they even
So it's
identified,
high school seniors.
they even identified who it is.
Right, high school senior.
I don't know if we should
Broad
go to high
limit to the high schools in Miami Lakes.
I don't know if we just
No.
say. I don't know.
Or, yeah, I mean,
There's gotta be.
there has to be somebody that wrote this up before. Like, these things have existed before our meeting today, man, like. It can't be that hard to find Well, you said the Grahams have a scholarship?
This is
Let's
the,
pull up that application.
in the meantime, I do think. It's fair right now, just
Table it.
just to limit it to,
Miami.
well, we don't have much time to table.
We can't give one.
We gotta sort this out now.
I think it's wise to just at least as a starting point, limit it to resident.
Residents of
Yeah.
Miami,
We got that.
Yeah.
veteran residents of Miami Lakes,
Even if they go to a.
their children.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they start school, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
They are,
And the school doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
and if they're going to school in San Francisco, we're still sending them, I mean, like, brains abroad.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't think you can do that either.
no,
Mayor.
no.
What?
I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
What?
I don't know. There's a big fight in my law school about that. I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
All right, so we got Miami Lakes resident, we got
High
high school,
school
or we got school age kids.
I'll say high school, senior high school.
It's limited, like,
I would say juniors going into their senior
They need their
year, that way
senior-
you have plenty of time to scope them.
they need their senior transcript and,
Yeah.
non-residency is an automatic disqualification. That's
Well,
let's.
It's not based upon, it's not gonna be based upon academics.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, this is like,
But
they're
they're
studying
senior
for
year.
a senior, so they need their senior transcripts.
See
going to
that
college.
they really are.
Going about.
Oh, I see, so the citrus check just to.
But they're very
verify
clear.
They're a kid.
It could be vocational school too, couldn't it, along with college, why not?
All right,
Yeah.
so we asked for a high school.
Scholarships of scholarship.
It's scholarship, yeah.
Okay, so a transcript, high school transcript, high school age kid. I mean, I would prefer school age, but whatever, we can open it up even higher. Make it high school,
Yeah, high school.
okay, and
Narrow down the number of.
we need to have the veteran provide a DD 214. And I really believe that in our selection
Active
factors,
duty will not have a DD 214.
that's right, because they need to be a veteran.
Proof of service.
But they're a veteran after their first day of service.
They have their military.
They'll have a way to.
They have
They'll have a military ID card.
Yeah.
Is there a,
We're
is
not
there,
including, actually.
is it there, just saying,
On the ID, they gotta have their ID card.
Are we not including active
Why not?
kids? Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they gotta give us something. They will
Yeah,
have,
he said that, an ID.
The ID.
I mean, they've got an active, it seems, the reservists also have an active card.
An ID.
so we can request a DD 214
Or
No,
active duty.
or active duty.
Yeah,
Or active duty, I said.
Military, and your kid gets the money, that's it, like, we're trying to give them.
yeah, a copy of their orders. I mean, that tells that that got signed, but where they live is more important. I mean,
Well, they have to be ordered.
Or something showing that.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that they live Miami Lakes.
Military ID.
Yeah, we would just have to have this.
Okay.
We definitely want to verify that they were in the military.
And then they reside by.
And that they reside, that's it. I would say property, either lease contract or a property tax bill, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Oh, sometimes they have their license. They have.
Yeah, but the license you don't have to change. You're supposed to.
All
within
right,
6
That-
months.
14 or active video ID card.
Lease contract.
Residents, which will be lease contract
Yeah,
or
residents.
tax.
Dude, it's
Or
gonna be like
tax
10 people.
bill.
It's gonna be 10 people applying for this at best.
10 is great.
Yeah, that would be amazing, right?
So,
I'll be a lot.
well, I'll tell you what. If we do 10, the word will get around.
Yes, for the
Okay.
next year. Yeah, you're right.
And
100%.
it will be, it'll be good for Miami Lakes. It'll be good for the committee. It'll be good for the reindeer run next year, the following year. Okay, I mean,
I don't think we're gonna have more than 10, so I mean, that,
it's all
let's
plus.
just have every one of them can get something. Some amount of money.
So now do we stipulate the amount of the scholarship each? Do we,
I would say $1,000 to start.
1,000 for each scholarship?
To start, because you don't know,
You're gonna just roll it over?
and then the balance. will-
Because if we
then
get 10, that's
we-
only 10,000, we're gonna make more than $20,000 a year.
Yeah, that's,
Raise it up.
now we're talking about 6 years.
Can we,
Yeah, you don't know what we have.
if you wanna give me 1,000, and after that you say 2,000 people.
Yeah, after that, once you get that first group, and you say, oh, we have or applicant, you say, okay, we can up it up from one.
You can,
Yeah, we can-
more money, they always will have.
Keep in mind,
But if
they
you
go to
go,
the University of Miami, it's gonna be $10,000 a semester.
I know.
Easy to 10 a semester. Probably more.
I have to
Like 80 grand, man.
Huh?
Probably like 80,000 now,
Per semester.
I hear.
every year.
Every year. Columbia's like
Every year.
62,000.
I'm just thinking about the logistics of the rollover.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
think
I
that's
think
a
that's
good
gonna
idea.
fly, because it has to go into what pot, it has to go into some kind of money.
Cause then you might.
I think you just
Might have 23
disperse
money.
it like.
It just goes right back into
Zero
the
it out.
general fund.
Zero out, it says.
You cannot
Believe
go
me,
over
that,
this fiscal
Michael's
year.
not here, but 100% that's what happens.
We're
Huh?
holding the 2022 one.
No.
Well, maybe it's, you know, a scholarship of 2,000, however many that is,
Well, why can't we just?
whatever the remainder is, gets cut to.
Just
I don't know,
name-
estimate.
Why don't we just say, why don't we just say
and
a
the
scholarship, why
turnout,
don't we just say
that's the amount.
a scholarship of a minimum of $1,000,
Right.
and then that's it.
And then based on the applicants, we can,
No, that's not vague. Minimum of 1,000 means at the bottom, the least they'll get is 1,000.
Yeah.
So
no,
you
that's a good
gotta
problem.
go before council next week and you need to have a number. You can't go to them and say, oh, at least 1,000. Okay, how about the most? And how much is it? We can
What
do
if
the
we
rest.
made,
Like,
what
we
if
have
we
to
made
have
a
the
most
plan.
easy.
What if we made a multi, what if we made a $5,000 or $10,000 scholarship, just two? And then and then in order to qualify it, you have to be a son of a veteran, or excuse me,
Daughter,
a son or a daughter of a veteran, one of their children. And we would select the person that received the scholarship by the best grades or whatever, you know.
No, we're not doing,
No.
we're doing
Quality of service.
yeah.
Not that.
quality of service, what's that?
No, the first,
If we're gonna put any kind of step
no,
criteria.
what should happen, in other words, in order to be
I don't
eligible.
think we're gonna have,
In
I don't think we're gonna
I
have
don't think
many.
quality of service works.
Yeah.
I think that's a proper criteria.
Yeah, it's not a good, that's not.
Right.
Well, we're probably not gonna
Dude,
need it.
if there's 7 people that want. Are children of veterans in Miami, and they all apply, we can't just divide that.
Yeah, we can.
So then,
Yeah,
let's do that.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna have more
yeah,
than
but
10.
what Judy's saying, you have to go to council and say, you get fixed amount.
Yeah, well, a minimum, I think.
Or we could say we
Bill,
get $15,000 will be awarded, divided to the.
To the applicants. that
Amongst the
qualify for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll
Amongst the
clarify how much we want to give out in the
Well,
beginning.
we can't say a
Divide it.
minimum of 1,000, because if we do it like you have 20 and we only have 17,000, it's not gonna be 1,000 each.
So look, can we just?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a
They say
great one.
the total amount we want to give out.
We
Exactly.
can't guarantee at least 1,000 if we're just gonna say
No, no,
divide
no
it by however
guarantee.
many, because if
Let's
there's
do
more.
X, we get X, that will be divided by the
Proceeds.
applicants that
Equally.
qualify equally.
Right, so some X will be distributed amongst the
It is-
qualified
it
applicants.
is-
Yes.
The proceeds divided by the number
I
of.
like
ordinance.
There you go.
Yes.
Love it. Put it in writing.
Say it again, say it again, no.
A pen to paper.
Repeat that. Mr. Knickerbocker.
Proceeds of race will be distributed upon the qualified applicants equally.
Okay. That
The
sounds good.
total number of qualified applicants.
Proceeds
That's good.
of scholarship fund
Scholarship fund, yeah,
will be distributed equally.
among the
Qualified
qualified.
applicants.
On the accepted qualified.
Which
I would
will
have asked that
to
to-
be distributed equally to the qualified applicants.
Right.
Right,
Yeah, it's amongst the.
nothing wants
Yeah.
to.
Proceeds of the scholarship fund. There,
And if they didn't buy that.
so if we have 100 applicants, everybody gets $70. What,
Right.
Yeah,
Sir.
good.
Right.
Somebody-
And what's that?
$170, there you go.
So
You know, if we get 10, everybody gets 1,700, whatever.
Yeah.
like that.
And if there's one that gets
Well,
$70,000.
not,
Yeah, I think we're not gonna have 20. I think we're gonna have probably, well, you never know. I mean, there could be one family that has 4 kids.
Do they get one? Oh, is it per family? Are we gonna pay kind of things like that? Or
Are they all?
That's per child, if they're all
Yeah,
seniors.
I mean, well,
Come on,
maybe
that would be amazing.
That's court, yeah, that's
you know, you could have a blended family.
You could.
You could have a blended
could.
family.
just have kids
Are we
count?
gonna have enough to-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure-
How they count, if they're not,
They have.
we're getting in the minutia now.
This is minutia.
If they're a child of the household and they're a stepchild, they count.
Okay, cool, good.
Give them the money, man.
So are we limiting it to the seniors in high school, or we're gonna have?
Juniors and seniors.
Juniors and seniors, yeah, I love it. Now we're really.
Now we're getting, now.
All right, so
Nitty-gritty.
veterans, residents of Miami Lakes, veterans who have juniors, seniors in high school. And.
So
yeah,
the-
I think we got it.
Now I'm gonna throw another hand grenade in here, the vetting process. When are you gonna do it?
Well, we gotta do the application first.
Well, we, like, we need the vetting process,
I
right?
think,
So is it juniors, sophomores going into junior year that can apply, juniors going into senior year, when is the money gonna get dispersed?
Well, if the run is in December,
February, it'll be ready probably, so you guys
Yeah.
were able to tell me how much we made.
then it would, yeah, graduating seniors or incoming.
Yeah.
Or incoming seniors and graduating seniors.
Mhm. Juniors going to seniors.
Or we can
And graduating seniors.
I think,
Or we can
I
cut
think
that
we should
language.
limit it to juniors going to senior
cut
year.
that language and
Because it makes
say.
it a lot easier for everybody.
You
You
can
probably
cut the
want to find
language
one
and say
person,
class of
cut the
twenty twenty-four and class of 2025.
or high school kids going.
Yeah, that clarifies.
Because once you start saying incoming, outgoing,
Simple.
Yeah.
class of 2024, class of 2025.
It's a good idea, John.
But I
Yes.
think limit it, because you make it easier for the people that have to do this, which is not us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Class
so class of 2024, class of 2025, all right, that was,
Is that, are we there, right?
okay.
Yes.
Why do you want to search the,
let me ask,
How about 26?
let me ask a
We'll cross
double,
that bridge.
are we gonna look to do the
Okay.
same thing the following year?
I hope not.
Are we
We're
gonna-
gonna do a mental thing next year,
Huh?
a mental wellness thing next year.
And we're gonna look at doing a mental health thing,
Okay, I mean, I just question.
yeah,
I mean, if it takes off and does well, we haven't made any decisions, if we
No.
could do it again.
I
yeah,
mean, here's the thing, if we do it. And it gets the kind of publicity that we would like it to have. Why would we not want to do it annually?
I would like to do it again, yes, I agree, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
so let's see how this thing goes, and then we'll. think
Because
about-
we're gonna have new juniors and seniors every year,
Yeah,
Hopefully, but yes.
okay?
and you know what, and there is an advantage of, once we get the darn template down and we've gone through the drawing.
The better, if you do it, it's easier.
It gets easier.
The whole run.
All right, sounds good. So, okay, the motion on the table is to approve a veterans scholarship for juniors and or class of 24, class of 2025, who are residents of Miami Lakes, who are either veterans or on active duty, to receive an equal share of the scholarship funds that are raised by the Reindeer Run 2023. Do I have anybody?
And by veterans, you're referring to. DD 214, military ID and reserve ID.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's either active duty
Who reside?
that reside in Miami.
Right.
We're working Miami Lakes?
No.
No,
No.
die.
Side.
So we have,
I like that,
Okay.
a little more help, but.
so we have veterans who are Miami Lakes residents, either DD 214 veterans or active duty or reservists with reserve ID cards. Proof of residency. Proof of DD 214, proof of active duty or reserve duty. And children who are either gonna be class of 2024, 2025. And the proceeds of the race will be divided equally among those
Qualified applicants.
qualified applicants. Do anyone second that? motion?
Second.
Okay, Drew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
Do
nays?
we need to stop? Do you wanna-
Any abstains?
No,
Any
you
concerns?
cannot
Ed?
abstain. I learned,
No.
you cannot abstain
Tomorrow,
in this committee.
yes.
But I will tell you, I would change that language to military members, former or current, is how I would. That's it.
And I would say if you're, for example. a class of
I mean, that's actually a good way to put in the application and the thing, so
Yeah.
former or current.
I would say it somehow, or I wouldn't say it because it's up to you guys, if you're 2025. And you've received this, you cannot get it when you are a senior.
That's why I
And
said,
next year.
Yeah, you can't keep on reapplying.
Right.
that's why I said, just
One time only.
Take it to one grade.
just.
Take it to one grade.
And you know what, you need to put that in the application.
Like, just do, there's language.
That's the rule that comes out.
Because
No,
one
but-
is workforce.
Yeah.
Dude, we want to make this simple.
Yes.
Simple. So the graduating class of whatever,
Right.
24, 25, 26, 27. 28.
One
Yes.
grade.
So
Yeah.
I know you guys don't like the language of like the upcoming juniors or whatever, then pick the language. But it should be the first of all, you should make a deadline of when they have to apply.
Right.
Which should be sometime in June, July, or whatever. That way we have enough time to clear it before the reindeer run, right? Second of all, we can take pictures with them. All the people that applied at the reindeer run, which would help with the advertising, right? And then we can decipher if they are or not Miami Lakes veterans, all that. And just focus on the junior class. And then you can donate the money come January, February, whenever it is of that year. And be done with it. And it's out. That's my opinion.
I
But
was personally, I was imagining it more staggered where this money. Like, there's not gonna be enough time for them to, us to decide who wins the scholarship to have photo ops at the Ranger Run. The Ranger Run collects the money. And then, maybe it runs with the Grand Scholar at the same time, maybe a scholarship season. And then at the 24 Ranger Run, we can take pictures with the former years recipient.
right.
And I really, the same thing, just
Look,
back.
you want, oh, you're 100% right. We're not
Okay,
gonna
I
do-
mean, that's, those are all great ideas.
Cause
I
they can
think,
they can be and I'm sorry to interrupt, they could already have graduated if they're
Right.
senior. They're coming back in town to take this photo if they're available,
Right.
or we can get their.
so really,
Around
the
that
question,
time
the
too,
question,
right.
okay, the
Around
question,
that time.
really, the issue is, should we have this open to graduating seniors or juniors and seniors?
Should be
So,
one class.
So go ahead.
well, let me go.
Patrick, go
I got-
Go with senior class because they're the ones
Yeah.
that are gonna need the
Yeah, gonna need
scholarship.
the most.
Okay,
Well,
Taking to seniors are not.
And they need that money
going
but I
to
mean, right.
next spring so that they've got it
Right.
planned for
But I-
the fall.
She's absolutely right. When I say juniors, right, it's a class of 2024, right? These people are in the summer. Now's the time to apply.
they're gonna become seniors.
They're gonna become, that's the class we should target, right?
Okay,
So the class of 2024, because at the end of the day, they're still applying for scholarship, right? I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
Things haven't changed that much, right?
Right.
So like, at the end of December, they're still applying for stuff, they still need the money and all that, so then maybe it is.
all right, let's just do it that way. Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna amend the motion. The motion on the table is
A class of.
to use the Ranger Run proceeds as a scholarship fund for veterans, current and former members of the military who have a DD 214, who honorably serve or are honorably serving, that are residents of Miami Lakes, and the proceeds shall be used paid out equally
To the class of 2024.
to the class of 2024.
So they're gonna have to show, we're gonna have to see this, the transcript to prove.
Yes, that they're junior and they're now they're
It's
seniors.
just- I would imagine it's the same way.
The grant,
as
yeah,
the Grand
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, we can just copy right.
Part of that, they have.
We could copy that from the
names,
grants, yeah,
transcript,
yeah. That's the
a
easy,
letter, they write a letter.
That's all that-
You guys
yeah.
do the letter,
that's all execution. Let's approve the plan. We can work on execution later. All right, so that's the motion. Do we have a second motion?
I say.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? You cannot, you can.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hey.
All right, okay, and we'll come up with the actual execution stuff. But we got a good plan already. All right,
And so at the town council last, you can say we're still working on that part.
yeah, I mean, we know who we know the target
We
audience.
know what we want to
We
do.
know the age we want. We know we know basically what we need in order to have them qualified. I mean, it's basically just for creating an application and an advertising. It really is. And I can work with you on that. I'll send you something, probably tonight. So that's what we're gonna email you at midnight.
We'll probably have to have a
Yeah.
We'll probably have to have a scholarship subcommittee.
Yeah, as to what I think, yeah, we have to add to the Graham's straw man application for making it our own. You know, we can use some of the stuff they have in there, to steal, you know, to how they bet it,
I can
and
send it to you.
then we can put the stuff for the veterans aspect that we need to see. Okay. 2020, okay, the proceeds allocations for combat veteran outdoor. I think we already discussed this. What I'm trying to figure out is how do I execute that, Jonathan?
That's
How do I
twenty
do that?
22, that's an error.
Okay, that's 2022. Okay, let's amend that. 7B should be 2022. How do I actually execute that? You know, I mean, how do I? Do I contact combat veterans outdoor and say, hey, I want to give you $17,000 so we can have sponsor 11 folks or whatever, or how do we actually do this? We find the folks first?
We're supposed to find a vote.
I would find them first,
Find them here.
so
Okay,
when we bring it to council and they hopefully. You know, give the thumbs up on it,
okay.
then that's. I mean, perhaps have you gone to the organization with the funds raised, that number? The 17,000? Have they given you a number to work
No.
with to look for?
No, I haven't asked them the cost yet.
It's like $2,000 person, more
Is
or
it?
less, yeah, more or less. And
So
I
what I'll
covered
do is I'll ask them what the cost is,
What
and then,
if we work backwards, just, you know, what's the cost per,
okay,
it, including.
how many do we get under that 17,000? Us looking for that, or the group of
That number of folks.
individuals.
okay.
Can
so
we
let
just
me-
roll it over into the scholarship fund?
If we have any extra, yeah, because you know, Ed, you're right, we may not find enough qualified people to do the combat veterans
know.
outdoor, because they limit it to combat veterans. Yeah, why can't we?
Would you like to,
Tell me what rolled into the scholarship and forget the veteran, combat veterans?
No, no, do that,
Okay,
and any extra roll it into
Yes.
the scholarship.
we don't.
Hey, you wanna recommend a motion? Huh?
I would just say yes, put all the money in the scholarship. But that's just me. So I'll do that motion. Let's roll the money over for the scholarship fund. We can already advertise that we have how much money?
17, well, about 15,000 like that. Is it 17?
17?
All right, 17,000.
Into the scholarship fund. We can use that as an advertisement for the next run. Right?
For this one now.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. What are you saying about the combat veterans?
Because nothing's been done with that, so I'm saying just roll the money over.
As a
into the
public,
Not doing
Well,
that?
no, I mean, we can,
I would like-
call and ask how much we're gonna spend. How
I
much
would
does he
like for
want?
us to get the info
Yeah,
and have it as an option
Yeah.
regardless. And then we can, then look secondary to. how to
Yeah,
roll
it's-
it.
I mean, I
I
think,
withdraw my name.
Yeah. If we've already kind of voted on using the combat veterans outdoors. And if we have a combat action qualified veteran here in Miami Lakes, we need to take care of that.
yeah,
I mean,
So let's do that first, like Mike, like Bill said, find out.
See what we use and what we don't use.
I mean, we could end up doing both. I mean, we may only find 5 or 6 folks who, and we may have $3,000 left over. And then we can roll that into the scholarship.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, okay.
Whatever's left, we roll in the scholarship.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Make a
let's make a
motion
motion on
Yeah.
that. There's a motion on the table by Larry that, if we have any proceeds left over from the combat veterans outdoors, that we roll those proceeds over into the scholarship fund for the Reindeer Run 2023.
Point of discussion.
Well,
Yes.
if we want to be a super proper, someone can second the motion and then that's when this.
Yeah, yes.
You're right.
I second.
Sorry.
Okay, second by
Point of
Judy,
discussion.
discussion.
So should we do that now or wait until we have the people selected for that before we do this motion that's gonna move money?
Well, I think if we do it now, that gets us ahead of, we've always been kind of behind and that gets us kind of ahead.
No,
you know?
I get it, but like, there's an accounting, right? Yep. Come on, man, help me out,
And the
bro.
fiscal year is
Come on, bro.
Huh?
Jonathan, help me out.
What was the question?
Come on.
Attorneys involved.
and the fiscal year is October.
But this is not appropriated funds.
It's fine, it can stay.
This is not appropriated funds. This is
What was the
donated
question?
funds.
My question is, we have nobody to give this money to, right? So
At this very moment,
and there's a very specific motion. Should we not just leave the motion how it was in the previous meeting? Like, we're gonna give it to the guys.
Yeah, I don't think we need a new
Yeah,
motion.
I don't, that was my only point.
Okay, that's fine. Then I withdraw the motion. Let's move on. Awesome. Okay, any other discussion? Any other concern?
I will list the discussion in the minutes.
Please.
Yeah,
so we can
good luck.
Yeah.
That was
Good luck.
that magical mystery tour. That was-
Do we need to vote on the reindeer, the cost of the antlers?
Do we have a quote?
We don't have a code.
Do we want
The antlers will be maximum $1.60.
to?
Antlers will be maximum $1.60 times 700.
Oh, you got a picture of the antlers?
I thought that was
Okay,
1120 plus tax.
If you guys want to set a cap, I wouldn't do. I like putting everything to motion, just so it's.
$1,200 with tax.
I know I'm not gonna wear antlers.
You pass that around.
But they are nice.
Gary, Gary, I can picture you.
Kids will wear it.
I'll wear that.
I may wear it afterwards.
Now noses are optional.
Do they come with it?
I mean,
They're nice.
it could go in the,
Registration, is it?
it could go in the packet, maybe.
What?
No, they're nice antlers.
They'll go in the
Well, no, they'll
packet.
go in the swag bag.
It'll go in the packet.
You don't have to wear it,
Take
you
it
can wear it after the run.
It's gonna go in the
For-
packet on Friday.
Christmas.
So it's
Yeah,
about,
they'll come packaged and they'll come, I did send you a picture. They come.
All right.
it's about $1,200 for, maybe they'll wear it.
So is the motion that Larry gets an invoice to the town
Good quote.
or quote to the town?
Yeah.
Or is a motion to approve?
It's a motion to approve the
That's up
cost.
to you guys. My point, my thing is it's $1,200 for maybe they'll wear it.
It's gonna go in the package pickup on Friday.
They will wear it. Here's the benefit of that antler. I mean, I really would get them up, but here's the idea. The run with that antler is probably not gonna happen. And no reindeer run did do that. But the antler is a soft material and you can take it off and put it in your waistband. Like one of the antlers down in your waistband, and run with it and put it back on for the pictures, both in the beginning and
You
the
know
end.
how they always give the race winners, you get the little wreath crown,
With the antlers on.
back in the Olympics.
Well, we'll have our photo op,
See the crown,
but again,
And it makes it
How
unique.
about we just get it all
Something, something,
out the finish line then?
well, the
I
price
was
will
about
be
to
different.
say that.
The price-
For the picture.
The price will be different.
so then maybe, so then the 700 for, after the race, then it could be.
No, before the race, the best time to take the pictures is the lineup. That's when everybody's all together.
Right.
But
Okay, and then, so you have everybody together, that's when you're
it's
gonna.
not my vote.
all right, let's put the motion
I'm
on.
just staff. but
What is the
I will
motion?
just say it is
It's a
to me,
zip.
it sounds like $1,200 for maybe they'll wear it.
It is it's kind of big cost, and it takes money out of the scholarship.
Yeah, that's kind of like when they had the Jingle Bell jar. They didn't have to wear the jackets, could have saved money not having. Jingle
No, that was
Bell
part
jackets.
of,
The same thing, it's. part of the
that's
theme.
different. That was part of the package, right?
That was his shit, yeah.
Yeah, so this, we're paying extra.
All right, so the motion is on the table to approve the cost of the antlers. Do I have the second on the motion?
Second.
Second by Pedro, discussion.
Who was,
Discussion, how about we have an antler sponsor,
Yes.
somebody, a sponsor. Sell an answer sponsorship. We'll put a logo
I mean,
on
me,
it.
I'd rather use the money versus scholarship.
Yeah.
Is there-
Do we have a deer?
I don't know. There's some prancing animal on that.
Pretty close.
logo.
All right, let's vote on this motion. If we have no discussion, those in favor of the antlers, say aye. Those opposed, say nay.
Okay.
Okay, the motion does not carry, because I think we should give the money to the families. Maybe we'll give those who win the scholarship an antler.
Close enough, antelope.
yeah,
They
but
just had the long
Sorry,
one.
but there's a limit to the number of antlers you buy.
That's right.
They're
Right,
so
okay.
flavored.
Yeah.
Well, last year,
Right.
I did buy some antlers. I gave them to different people last year and I paid them anywhere from $6 to $8 for each one. So when you buy 700, you buy them 2 months.
Okay.
The price is down.
Okay, let's move on the agenda. Veterans Park status update. I'm not sure, that could have been just a residue from the last agenda, and I just forgot to delete it. I don't think there's any update to Veterans Park. All right, so we're moving right along to Patriot Day planning. How are we doing on that?
Well, I called Caroline, over at Farm and Natural. And she was good for 500 more,
Flags,
flags.
Yeah.
But she told me to call her back Friday to confirm.
okay,
Call her back tomorrow to confirm, but she sounded like she was all go, didn't see a problem.
So
That's
far,
good.
She asked it too before, about a month ago, she said yes.
She said yes.
and I think we have the volunteers for the flag setup, so we're good there, right?
I don't know.
Well, Michael was working
Mike
that.
was on-
Right, sort of that.
I don't believe he's made that call yet. Now, the other thing was Mike Edwards with the battalion chief. I sent a couple of texts over to him.
Yes,
I tried calling him a few times and I passed the ball with Jonathan.
okay,
I'm gonna see about.
Were you able to contact?
I'm gonna, I know you said that too, I'm gonna see about passing it to Michael, because he had better luck last year. But I can also reach out, it's not a big deal.
I asked Mike to do that. I did.
I know he has his.
And
The guy with the tent.
he said he really rather not.
Yeah, I'm already,
I already asked him, that's why I got the contact information, and Mike said he'd really rather not. I think that, you know, what probably happens, the guy probably gets so many phone calls and so many text messages and stuff, he just saw this thing, he thought it was just somebody else doing it.
so, I will reach out. Can I give a little update?
When you send an email from the town of Miami Lakes, or you call him, this is Jonathan with the town of Miami Lakes, I think that'll have a little bit of impact. Everybody is-
go ahead, give an update.
Working PA system, I've already spoken with Parks. Whatever we need, a generator, because that is the only thing that stops us from using a PA system. Tents, already speaking with Florida Marketplace Group to get them donated, hopefully like we did for Memorial Day, which we're very appreciative of, and I need to mark down to put their logo on any program. Flags in the field, we have them all stored at Mary Collins, they're ready to go.
Have you seen, have you physically touched them?
I have no.
You mean the 500, the 3,000 flags?
They're just
Okay,
in
the
there.
last I saw them, they were over there, but I'd like to see them and physically touch them to make sure they're ready to go. So can we set that up maybe in the next? few
Yeah, you
weeks?
and him, just go ahead and.
Where at?
Just want to see them, that's all.
We're in the storage.
Yeah.
In bins up on the top. Which one?
In Mary Collins.
Mary
Mary
Collins.
Collins.
We're gonna be in Mary Collins August 12th for the Legion meeting.
Mhm.
So let's go check them out there.
Okay.
So let's check them out that Saturday.
Just
Okay,
make sure they're good.
there, solve that problem for you, Jonathan.
Flag setup, that's a volunteer question, we already said
Yeah,
that.
Michael has had that
Uh,
fraction.
Coffee, food, water, do me a favor, we meet,
I was supposed to contact Pedro and I apologize, Pedro, I didn't contact you. That maybe you could help us source out some coffee for the,
Coffee and food,
for the, for the morning of the,
like what happened to Memorial Day, like. for
Yeah,
Memorial
I
Day.
talked to Cedric too.
Yeah,
it would be there like during setup time, so we could have it actually.
yes, we have coffee during setup and then we have food after the ceremony, like you did for Memorial.
What you did for Memorial Day was amazing.
Well, that was impromptu from Terry.
Yeah, I know.
food, if I may,
That was
so
not-
that would be water for setting up the flags, day of,
Yeah, that's what that was.
coffee, donuts.
He brought food for like 25 people, whatever, and he
40.
fed,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
brought food for 40 and fed 100. It was like a biblical thing. It's amazing.
So
Okay.
then water for the
Yeah, but-
volunteers. were you already-
What for the volunteers the day
Yeah,
of?
that's
The day of setup is when water is very important.
Right, yeah, and headquarters, so you guys are doing the day of setup, is that the day before?
The day before
Day
Saturday. We need
Which will be
water,
the night.
Ninth.
yeah, we need water there like about
So then,
8 AM.
so then, let's bring an invoice. Back to our September meeting, because we meet before the event anyways. So that we can approve any food, drink, donuts. Bagel.
Oh, that we buy ourselves, that's not donated. Okay,
Well, if it's gonna be donated, better,
I
if
have-
we have to pay for the donuts and the, you know, whatever.
all right,
We only.
but I think
I got reimbursed last time for the coffee. and
We did,
donuts.
but we wanna get away from.
Reimbursement.
Well,
that.
I think-
And if it works out like that, it works out.
all right.
I just, you know,
Okay, so Pedro, you're gonna go look and see if you can get food and coffee like Memorial Day.
Is
Awesome.
anyone, is anyone
Will you-
reaching out,
Sure, okay.
Jonathan, for a guest speaker for the event?
I have an
I
idea,
have nothing.
I have an idea.
On what time you want it?
For the ceremony, what
Yeah.
time's the ceremony? It's like 9 o'clock, isn't it? Because it's like September
Yeah,
10th.
it's like 8:58.
I show that I'm supposed to be delivering
Well,
15 cold cases on 9/9 at 8:30 in the morning. And
Yeah.
you're gonna carry them over to the next day.
It's at 9 a.m.
Right.
Okay.
When's the ceremony?
It's at 9 a.m.
9 AM, 9 AM, so it
You
starts
want
9 AM.
coffee and,
Pastelitos, croquetas
Maybe
early morning
8:30.
at 8:30, and then, whatever you guys had from Sergio's that day was perfect for lunch. Okay, here's. Go ahead.
How many is it gonna start at 9? How long is it gonna be?
Now,
Now, so that's 10 a.m. Nobody.
yeah, that's probably no one's gonna wanna eat, so maybe just coffee possibly.
Coffee factory for the morning.
That's a good point.
But yeah, if you do get anything, let me know, cause
I'll let you know.
I want to put them on the program.
Sure.
Show some love.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Gonna put
thank
like
you.
groceries for as much.
How many people is 50? So 50?
We didn't,
Yeah, same thing, 50, so,
we need to reach out, it's important, the police department and the fire department, those two things that, you know.
yeah, we need to be first
Those are the main
responders.
things.
Are you gonna do that? Is the town gonna do that?
I can do that
Okay.
with my beautiful signature that says I'm with the town.
The
And
color
what about the color guard from the town?
Okay, well, I'm my guest speaker right now.
Evdor's already said.
He said
he was gonna
yes.
do
Let-
that.
He said
let's-
that.
Yes, we-
Guest speaker.
Okay, guest speaker, so I reached out to the Public Safety Committee, and they have retired cops and first responders. And one of the things that we did for the Memorial Day was we were at award citations for, Congressional Medal of Honor citations.
That was amazing.
And, well, they have something similar. They gave out the Heroes Medal, a special medal that was just made for 9/11 to police officers and first responders. And I was able to find, and there was no award citation because, well, you can imagine to get an award citation, someone has to witness what you did. And those who were in the building, none of them made it out. So there's no witnesses. But what I was able to find was what they did read was small biographies of each one. And I found a female police officer who actually saved a bunch of people, then ran back in there. So it was like unbelievable. There's even a picture of her in the New York Times coming out was a bunch of people she just saved and then running back in there. And then two firefighters. And so what I asked the public safety folks, and they're composed of retired firefighters and police officers, all that stuff. But if they could read those citations like we did
Yeah,
for the other guys, and they'll be our guest speakers. I think that's super powerful.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's, much better than some
Random dude.
random congressman
VIP.
who did nothing, or random senator who's done nothing
100%.
talking,
Do you want active or like?
they could be retired. I mean, let's see how many, I only got one person who's currently, he's part of the public safety. He's an active detective. I forget where. I got his card. Oh, it's right here. No, this one's a lieutenant paramedic, so. Yeah, so yeah, I can get a lieutenant paramedic, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and then Virginia Gardens, the police department, detective.
Do they live here?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say, I know a couple of firefighters. that
yeah,
live
and it was also, yeah, if you know somebody, I mean, because I don't know who's gonna show up, It's sort of like what we had with the veterans thing. Believe me, that was very ad hoc. Some people were supposed to show up and read, they didn't show up. So we kind of put it together, but it kind of worked out.
That was very amazing.
William, let me ask, can we do a letter or something from the Veterans Committee to Sergio? Because
Yeah,
they
Absolutely,
give it to us before.
absolutely. I'll put it on a nice.
Because they know the idea, with Gary sent in when
Yeah.
you used them before,
Yeah,
and Gary sent it with a certificate.
Oh, yeah, I'll
and they-
put it on.
we didn't send them one for.
No, we didn't, that's why, we can send him one letter from that,
That
and
and-
I go with that, I ask him,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll say yes.
Yeah, I'll draft one up and put it on nice parchment paper, and I'll steal the logo of the town and the veterans of the town and sign it. Resistance is futile, Jonathan. I'm gonna do it anyway. What are you guys gonna do? Shoot me? No, been there, done that. All right, so that's our guest speaker. The bell ringing ceremony by the firefighters.
We were
If
looking.
we
Mike
could
Edwards.
get that, that'll be,
I already have, Mr. Peterman's bell,
Who?
oh, that's fantastic.
town manager Edward Peterman.
Ed Peterman?
Hey, he's a retired firefighter.
No, well, just his bell, I don't.
So I mean,
think-
if we're one short, I'm like, Ed, you're reading this. So I guess just Ed Peterman. The color guard, so we got the commitment from the town Miami Lakes, color guard folks, the honor guard. Amador said they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm reaching out to him again for the police.
Okay.
guidance.
So, So Bill, you're the MC, and you're gonna coordinate the progression of who comes up and speaks and what happens next
Yeah.
as the MC.
Like I did last time.
So, exactly, so that's not an issue.
So the national anthem singer, I have the young lady we never given a functional microphone to. Brianna. She's fantastic. She does it like a hell out because we have no music to play either. So she's gonna do this again. So we'll take care of that. The bagpiper, I think, last time we talked.
I thought we talked about,
Yeah,
we
not
talked,
getting rid of them.
we talked about doing that with
The
music.
Yeah.
As opposed to a
Yeah.
bagpiper.
Like your,
So,
Yellow speaker.
yeah, you're from your cool little red fire truck.
Well,
Although this is a very, serene kind of thing.
You could have bagpipe music and.
Yeah.
With speakers.
from the
Well,
speakers.
yeah, we play it off the speaker system, Jonathan's. on.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do. Just have.
Jonathan, the blues people on that, correct?
That doesn't sound great, but.
So I say we just don't have a bagpiper. He costs quite a bit of money and quite frankly,
What do you have to pay?
paid him $100.
Too much.
And he played 2 songs. One
He's down the
shortly.
cooler.
He sounded cooler than he ate.
You look good.
Yeah, so I'd say we no longer have the bagpiper.
I second,
Right.
I second that motion.
I don't know, that's not a motion, but whatever.
that's a line.
Now,
That's a lie.
Caroline supplied the violinist guy. I don't know what his name is.
No.
No,
He does, I mean, he shows up.
no, I mean, it's the guy I thought that was awesome that we had was the trumpet player who played
Yes.
taps during Memorial thing. And maybe if we could have that guy play taps during the bell ringing, but then we may not, I don't know if they say anything during the bell ringing. I'm not sure what
No,
I've never been a firefighter. I don't know what.
no.
Let's see.
No, no.
What we do the test from Memorial.
Or they leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that guy was awesome.
He's-
Okay, invocation.
American Legion.
He's on.
What do you got, Ed? You gonna do the invocation?
You don't want me to do the invocation, but,
Oh, actually, maybe I do.
maybe you do. It would be surprising if you do, but, I know there was a concern that was a little bit too religious before the guy talked. And I still think it was a little bit too Christian centered,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Memorial Day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I thought I thought exactly the opposite. I thought it was more.
He
General,
said Christ.
huh?
He said Christ. So that's,
oh, so you're just saying don't have any reference to.
no, I think that I wasn't the one who brought up this point before the meeting.
I brought it up before the meeting.
Yeah.
It's non-denomination. That's it.
But like, it should be like, if you Google it,
Yeah.
it's very easy to do a
Tell,
non-denomination.
yeah, Ismo can do that. I mean, I think.
Come on, he can do it. Yeah,
I thought the Memorial Day one was scary.
he was good until the end. I think, I mean, it's part.
I'm Jewish.
Anyone can do the, look, anyone can do the invocation.
We have tons.
Yeah, Gary, we got tons of different non-denominational prayers.
It's not even my point. I don't care.
Because the American Legion does a prayer right before the ceremony. And since everybody's of different faith, it's always non-denomination.
Yeah, but this
It's
wasn't.
not.
You get my point.
He's always a nomination.
And I appreciate
It's always Christian.
He's always Christian.
the Jewish member of our
When-
committee
when
saying she
Ismo
doesn't have a
says-
problem, but there is still. It's not that hard.
No,
I'll Google it right now. and
Ed,
Google
I'm
it. It's like,
agreeing with you.
I think we're all in agreement that we want it non-denominational.
All right, so just tell Ismo non-denomination. All right.
that's it. I'm done. See you guys next.
Hey,
I'm causing no trouble.
You had, we agreed with you when you finished your first sentence. Now we strongly agree with you. Okay, moving right along. The Rosa Nell Hammer, for those of folks.
So
who
y'all
remember,
planning on being there?
Rosie the Riveter ceremony is August 7th at 9 a.m. We have a tree planting. I will be there. Hopefully some more folks will be there.
Where's it gonna be?
It's gonna be inside the Mary Collins Center. It's all gonna happen there because she's 103 years old. We're only gonna go outside for a second to look at her tree. Be good. 9 a.m. That's when it starts.
You having coffee?
There should be coffee there. The elderly affairs said they're gonna take care of it.
Yeah, could you just circle back with Dottie, because she said that the garden club is going to do something.
Yeah, garden club's fine.
Which is fine,
What you say.
but just, so it's there, it'd be nice to confirm it.
I think
She said she would.
I think we just.
I trust Dottie.
Our shirts and.
We show up in this. I'm acting as MC for a little bit.
What's that?
I'm gonna see if I can get the young Marines to do the color guard, and if they do, we have a little color guard going on. I'm gonna try to download some music from during the World War II period. 1940s. So, yeah, the kid was. one's a school guard.
No,
Oh, okay, so they're not yet.
Yeah, so we may have them, so that'll work out, so.
Can I run down the event form very quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
So water, you marked down 40.
Yes,
So we.
I figured that's what the elderly affairs people are bringing.
No, I don't think there was an.
Well, we just died there is.
My wife to the doctor.
I have 40 marked down. We budgeted once, 1,000 for it. Between the tree and handyman, that leaves us with 170,
No, we can buy water.
which includes the brick. So if we want to be safe with water, and I know you marked down dishware as well. I mean, that's something like paper plates.
Yeah, but I thought that's what paper plates is what. I figured the elderly
No,
affairs are
I'm
gonna
just
take
saying-
care of the food, they're gonna bring the paper plates.
I don't
One
know.
thing I know about the elderly affairs committee is when they do food, they do it right.
Dottie does it right.
You know, you've seen, as I said before.
Pedro, you're in the elderly affairs committee.
I'm the one that provide most of it.
Okay, why don't you tell us what you guys are doing for this ceremony on August 7th, you know?
Make sure.
Okay,
So
okay,
do we want to, we don't want to,
Home cleaner.
we don't want to go out 5 inches just in case.
no,
Okay.
no. I mean, I like the
How many
elderly affairs.
dishes do you need? 40, 50?
Yeah,
I
listen,
don't, I think that's very safe.
I'm positive the elderly affairs folks are
We have
gonna
it
take care
very
of
close.
it.
Could we, let's just double check with Dottie, okay?
They'll take care of it.
That sounds great. The brick,
The brick.
does someone want to, this isn't gonna be installed on Monday because that's that's.
No, we're supposed to be having a little sign by Tico.
We're, temporary sign.
Yeah.
So, but for the brick, does somebody want to volunteer to like type up the language for it?
I think it was just gonna be her name, Rosa Nell Carter. Quote, Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, but
I mean, how much can you put on a brick?
I don't know. Is it?
How many
it's already
characters can you
memorial
put on the
but
brick? It's not a
we don't
memorial.
leave it- No, I'm saying it's not, so do we want to leave it, you know? Do we want to mention service, do we want to mention?
No, I can just keep it simple.
Yeah, just put her name and then Rosie the Riveter, World War II.
Yeah.
Birth and death.
Can we
No.
make that little thing?
It's
Can
not-
we make that-
Maybe like in.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a hammer?
No, like the actual picture, right? Is she Rosie the River?
Yeah, well, unless you wasn't
It's
Rosie,
a-
the actual river than the.
No, I know.
I'm talking about,
No, she.
But I'm saying that
Maybe like
she was
this.
one of them,
Like lasered. off
like
the
one of
brick.
those, yeah, man, let's laser that.
can we do that?
I mean,
Anybody
You can
here?
do that and just put the name.
All I know is lines of text.
Yes.
To be completely honest.
I
All I
think
know
it's
is-
text.
But I think that's gonna be part of the sign. It's gonna be a picture of her and then next to it's gonna be that we can.
Yeah, but for the brick, I'm saying, right?
Yeah, that'll be really
Yep.
cool.
Do we want
It'll
to
be the
explore
bricks
that,
kinda-
like laser?
Yes.
it?
I move for you to explore.
Okay, explore, so I know lasering and all, it's.
Right. It went, so
Okay.
for my
Yeah,
understanding of
alright.
the cost of the brick, it starts at 34 for the size.
$34.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so
we're
let's
just
make a
gonna
motion.
explore, and then.
I moved, she seconded. We
Yeah,
didn't take
so
a
the
vote.
motion's on the table.
Bill
to
Black.
Explore the lasering of the brick with Rosa Nell Carter, no, Rosa
Her
Nell
name.
Hammer's name, then Rosie the Riveter in quote, and then right next to that, that cool picture.
Yeah.
And if not.
And World War II underneath, so
Just
that way
the-
people know it's World War II.
Incidentally,
Rosie the Riveter.
my daughter, a lot of women love that picture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's
I
not
love that
possible to etch it,
My
just
aunt, my
say-
great aunt was one.
And Rosie the River
And WW2, World War II.
as the second option.
Yes.
Okay.
Name, Rosie the River in quotes, and then underneath WW2,
Within our budget, that was said last meeting.
Or accept.
WWII.
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 What do you think?
Did you hear that?
WWII.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Capital.
Words, yeah, same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But it would be so cool if we could laser that. Well, I'm just thinking.
Stands for
All
World
right, so that motion is passed. He's gonna explore that.
So, wait a minute. You made the motion?
No, Ed made the
Ed made the
motion,
motion.
Catherine seconded to explore the brick having the
I got it.
name
I
Rosie
got it.
River with the also.
With the moniker and
Yeah,
the World War II in the picture.
I think it was
Okay.
really cool. Nice bigger brick, maybe?
So we're not buying anything, is my Cause I brought the
How about a-
credit card and.
How about a tile?
No, we're not buying anything for the Rosie.
How about
It's supposed to be heavily
Yeah.
affairs.
See what I'm saying?
I think you
It
do.
should be a little bit bigger. This is a big deal. I think.
It was, I think it's the standard rib size.
No,
Okay.
don't give me
You
that.
can't do it on the tile.
Come on, that's too small. All right, can I move to make it bigger?
I
Come
mean,
on.
if it's
Hey,
170, I don't.
You know
Well, no,
what?
you've already made a motion to explore the brick.
Yeah, so it could be any size brick.
Make it so.
Ideally,
you can
that
see it.
fits all
Like
the-
seriously,
Okay.
that's a big, that,
Again, this will be installed, you know, after the fact. I-
Ideally, what
Time
fits,
for it.
what fits the stuff we want. That's what we're looking for.
you wanna lose it.
All right, new business.
Well, wait a minute, was that, is everyone in favor of that?
Oh, yeah, all in favor, say
Under
aye.
the break.
Aye.
Oh.
Any opposed? Nay.
Exploration.
Okay, carry. Thanks.
Fine.
Okay, new business, okay, I have to make a town council report, basically, it's just what we did in the past, it's gonna cover what we did on Memorial Day, it's gonna cover how we helped, the Community Affairs Committee during July 4th, it's gonna talk about our future actions, which deals with, the reindeer run and 9/11. As well as how we're gonna use the money for Combat Veterans Outdoor, and how we're gonna use the money for 2023 for the scholarship program. I'm also gonna review with them the proposals we made to improve Veterans Park and propose funding issues dealing with how to possibly fund that. And
Did you get a letter back from the town council?
no, I don't think.
How long are they gonna let you talk when they give you the hook?
No, it's not 3 minutes. I'm on the agenda, so I can talk as long as I want.
Well,
So.
It's in the time.
Well, it's
I'm
only 10 minutes.
presenting later in the evening, so.
Okay, that assumes that what you're saying is gonna impact what I say, which is not.
No, well, he's
And
gonna
two,
make
that
it
I care,
quick.
which I
So you're
say.
gonna have to talk at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, if I'm going first, good luck,
Okay,
because I'm gonna say what I need to say. Another thing that was added was the second thing. As I said, I met with the public safety folks. And they're the ones who do the honoring of the first responders and stuff with the first responder breakfast and all that stuff. And I proposed to them that we ask the mayor to do a proclamation that November becomes, veteran and first responder month, because we really don't do anything for the first responders. And why do us veterans only get 1 day? Why not we get a whole, why not get a month? So many people get a month, and all the
Yes.
people who serve in the military, so we know we're all together on this. So they said, yeah, and they actually passed it. To say it's for us to go there, and I was able to talk to Fred Senra, and I gotta remind Fred that he promised me this. Because I asked him about the banners, if he will do banners for first responders. And he goes, I don't see why not. So, how we have banners for the veterans, he will put banners up for first responders who are either Miami Lakes residents, current or former first responders. The thing that I told him, though, to be fair, we have a lot of first responders who also were veterans. And I'm like, you gotta pick one, buddy. You can't have a veteran and a first responder banner. You can't have both.
Why not?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
But why
I
are
don't
you
get
kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm like.
well, I'll tell you why. Tell you why. Because, Fred's doing it out of kind of his own heart. Now, Fred says, okay, I'll learn the
Right
paperwork.
off. Come on.
It is the right.
Come on.
You are
Come
so
on.
fast, you're so fast and loose with Fred's money.
No, we actually tried, Michael tried to take it away from him and he.
Yeah.
decided to keep going.
Well, anyway, so we'll see if, no, nothing will make me happier, Catherine, and run by and see your face as a veteran and see your
Yes,
face as a first
exactly.
You're
responder.
a first responder and a veteran, so
Yeah.
you should have two.
You did that too.
It's a write-off, so yes.
Okay. Honestly, it's up to Fred. Since it's his donation, his money, if he says, yeah, I'm okay with that, then
The committee-
fine. But who's gonna run that will be, by the way, it's not ours.
You know how
Who
much
runs that will be the Public Safety Committee.
You know how much money we need?
I don't know. It's
Uh,
Public Safety Committee.
And the
But
next goal of.
yeah, so that's their thing. So their banner stuff. So anyway, what I need us to do,
You don't have to wash it this year?
I need to put a motion on the table, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last one, and then we can get out of here. The motion on the
That's the
table
last.
is to approve Requesting that the town make November veteran and first responders month.
Second.
Second, okay, Judy seconds, all those in favor say aye,
I,
all in favor,
We did a big event, 500 people for the funded.
yeah.
We give them.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second by Judy, all those in favor?
I.